p.m. in Philadelphia, CBS Radio Sports presents the 1981 Division Series. Hello, everybody. I'm Jack Buck, along with Joe Torre. We're getting set for the division playoff game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Montreal Expos. This broadcast is sponsored by the Chrysler Corporation, by Service Star Hardware Stores, by Pennzoil Motor Oil, by Delco Electronics, and by Budweiser. It's a sunny afternoon in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and a 30,000-plus crowd is on hand to watch the Expos and the Philadelphia Phillies go at it in Game 4 of this playoff series. Montreal won the first two by scores of 3-1, and yesterday the Phillies bounced back to win by the score of 6-2. Today it'll be right-handers once again, with Dickie Knowles on the mound for Philadelphia and Scott Sanderson going for the Montreal Expos. Once again, Joe Torre, it's all on the line, and once again, Montreal could end the Philadelphia hopes today.
Well, we have two different stories here today. First, the Montreal Expos, who lead the best-of-5 series 2-1. They want to end it today. In order to do that, they must forget yesterday and not think about tomorrow. Yesterday because of the sloppy play, and tomorrow because of one Steve Carlton. Trying to beat Lefty twice in 5 games is an awesome task, and I tell you, yesterday, I felt the Expos showed me a little crack in the armor when they panicked a little bit. They didn't play as well as they could. And, of course, you've got the Phillies on the other side of the field. They entered yesterday's game with an attitude that we felt an attitude of world champions, but not that they wanted to prove that they are, but that they already were. And they finally, toward the middle of the game, looked to me like they started working harder, and all of a sudden they find themselves one game behind. And in Game 4, it could very well be the Philadelphia experience that could make the difference and get them to Game 5 and Carlton.
Once again, the lineups are pretty much the same for Montreal. We'll give them to you quickly and then repeat them in more detail. Cromartie, White, and Dawson, Carter, Parrish, and Francona, Spire, Jerry Manuel, and Scott Sanderson. For Philadelphia, Smith, Rose, and McBride, Schmidt, Matthews, and Moreland, Boa, Trio, and Knowles. The people here in Philadelphia connected with the baseball team, Joe, are really disappointed in the size of the crowds. In fact, some of the people who had bought season tickets, about 2,000 season ticket holders, passed by the opportunity to buy tickets for this mini playoff series, so they don't have all the fan support that they ordinarily get. However, if they win and get into the LCS, the League Championship Series, against either the Dodgers or Houston, then the place is likely to be a sellout.
Well, when the split-season format came about, there were 3 clubs in the National League that really were against it, Philadelphia being one, of course, St. Louis and Cincinnati. And I believe the attendance fall-off showed in all 3 of the cities. And yesterday we only had 30-plus thousand. Today it looks like about the same crowd, even though I think before it's over with that there'll be more people here today than yesterday. And, of course, tomorrow, if there is a game here tomorrow, I believe they'll go over 50 tomorrow.
The lineup cards are brought out by Bobby Wine, one of the coaches of the Phillies, Jim Fanning, the manager of the Expos, and the 6 umpires are on hand. Billy Williams will work the plate today. There go the Phillies to the playing field. We've already had the playing of Old Canada, and Lou Rawls sang the Star-Spangled Banner. Dickie Knowles digs a hole in front of the pitching rubber. Tell us about him, Joe Torre.
Well, Dickie Knowles throws the ball hard. He's a big guy, and people remember the World Series last year. He's the right-hander that knocked George Brett down, that caused a little controversy in Kansas City. He's not afraid to pitch inside again, has all the stuff, fastball, breaking ball, changeup. His only problem is his control, and if he starts fighting back from ball 1, ball 2, this could very well be the last game of this series.
Dickie Knowles, a record of 1-4 a year ago, is 2-2 this year. No record this season against Montreal, and a career mark of 1-1 against the Expos. He'll be caught by Keith Moreland. Around the infield, Mike Schmidt is at third, Larry Boa at short, Manny Trio at second base, and Pete Rose at first. The left fielder is Gary Matthews. Once again, it's Lonnie Smith in center and Bake McBride in right. There was some talk that McBride would be benched today, but he is in the lineup. Here's the batting order for Montreal once more. Warren Cromartie at first base leads off. Jerry White in center field. Andre Dawson in center. White in right. Dawson in center. Carter's the number 4 hitter. He's the catcher. Larry Parrish at third. Terry Francona in left field. Chris Spire at short. Jerry Manuel at second base, and Scott Sanderson on the mound. Sanderson 9-7 this year, 1-1 against Philadelphia, and a career mark against the Phillies, Joe, of 6 wins, 3 losses.
Well, Scott Sanderson has great stuff. He's easy to steal on. He's got a real big motion. He's quite a tall kid. But again, he throws the ball very hard. He's got a real hard slider. And he actually was thought of in a much higher way than Gullickson at one time. And he's still a young man. And I just feel that they have the ball club of the future with their pitching staff as the main part of their success.
Dickie Knowles is from Charlotte, North Carolina. He was born there. He lives there. He's hopping around on that pitcher's mound like he's really wound up. And here's the first pitch of the afternoon to Warren Cromartie. A swing and a bouncer to first. It goes foul. Strike one. Cromartie went up there pumping. He's not a finesse hitter at all. He's a swinger. He doesn't work the pitcher for the walk. And it's strike one. Jerry White and Andre Dawson will follow here in the opening inning. Knowles right back with another. And the pitch. Swinging a high chopper toward the mound. Fielded by Knowles and out at first. A high bouncer, and Knowles had to wait for it. Trio stayed away, and that's the way the game began.
Well, like yesterday for the Phillies, the first inning or so is really going to be the key for them. Like yesterday, Christensen came out and threw strikes, got ahead, got the opposition out, and this is what Knowles has to do now, just for his own confidence and to try to keep the Montreal club down, because I felt a little sense of insecurity out there around the batting cage where the Expos are concerned today.
Jerry White has had 2 out of 11. Switch hitting outfielder, batting from the left side. And the pitch is on the way. Swing and a shot into right field. Sends McBride back at the track. He has it for the out. McBride spun around in a complete circle out there. He wasn't very sure where the ball was going to be. It was hit directly at him. A tough chance, and he caught it.
Well, that ball hit directly over Bake's head. He turned the wrong way, but was able to keep his feet and got back to make the play.
So there are 2 out here in the opening inning. And here is Andre Dawson. Dawson is 4 out of 11, but he really hasn't hurt the Phillies.
Really hasn't. They've been able to pitch around Andre pretty well, but that guy next has hurt them quite a bit.
Ball 1 is inside to Dawson, with Gary Carter waiting on deck. Schmidt deep behind the base at third. The outfielders play Dawson to pull. Andre took a half swing, held up, ball 2. He's been chasing a few bad pitches.
He gets a little anxious up there, and he wants to contribute out there, and he realizes that he's probably the MVP of that ball club right now.
Here it comes, and with 2 out, a smash into center is a base hit. Dawson singles into center. Lonnie Smith gets it back, and Gary Carter comes up. Carter is 4 out of 10, and he has driven in some big runs. His 2-run homer won one of the games in Canada. And he has hit a lot of home runs here in Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia.
Well, he's hit 15 home runs in this ballpark, and the most anybody's ever hit in this ballpark has been 16 for an opposing player, and that's been Dave Parker and Johnny Bench. So, and he hasn't been playing as long as them.
Carter swings and pops it up foul back here, out of play, strike 1. Keith Moreland had a look at it. He's the catcher. Schmidt, Boa, Trio, and Rose on the infield. Matthews in left, Smith in center, McBride in right.
I'm just curious to see if Jim Fanning's going to try to get things back on the right track, because when that game ended yesterday, Montreal seemed confused and Philadelphia seemed confident. So I'm just wondering if Andre Dawson will be trying to steal here just to get the blood rushing again.
Cromartie bounced out, White flied out. Dawson got a hit now, a swing and a foul by Carter, and it looked like Dawson wanted to steal, but Dickie Knowles quick pitched him that time.
Well, that's the important thing to do for a pitcher. If you haven't got a real good move to first base, it's important that you do different things all the time. Come down, pitch quick, come down, hold, come down and stop and step off, just so they can't time you.
Rose holds against Dawson. 2 quick strikes on Gary Carter. A lead by the runner. He's going. The pitch is high. The throw is too late. A stolen base. with a hand-first slide by Dawson. Joe, you called it, just to try to get things underway.
Well, plus he's 2 strikes on the hitter, and the worst thing that can happen is you have Gary Carter starting fresh next inning. But he's got that kind of speed. He had a real good jump, and Moreland got rid of the ball real well, but it just wasn't enough to get the speedy Dawson.
Dawson's now at second with 2 out, and Gary Carter could drive him home. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Outside, a ball, 2-2. Waiting on deck now is Larry Parrish. Parrish not hitting much, so Carter may not get much to hit. He's driven in 4 runs in the 3 games. He's had a double and a home run. Swings and strikes out. A breaking ball got him. No runs. 1 hit. 1 left. In the middle of the first inning. Montreal nothing. Philadelphia nothing.
Chrysler Corporation introduces 1982 cars at 1981 prices. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced 6-passenger front-wheel drive cars. Dodge Aries K-Coupe and Plymouth Reliant K-Coupe are $59.90. That's over $700 less than Chevy Citation Hatchback Coupe. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced 5-passenger front-wheel drive cars. Dodge Omni Miser and Plymouth Horizon Miser are $54.99. That's over $700 less than Ford Escort L 4-door hatchback. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced full-size pickup. The new Dodge Ram Miser is $58.99. That's over $600 less than Ford F-100 pickup. All prices and comparisons are based on published base sticker prices and exclude title, taxes, and destination charges. Compare. It pays to come to Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth for 1982 cars at 81 prices.
Phillies come to bat. Lonnie Smith will lead it off against the tall right-hander, Scott Sanderson. Sanderson, a 6'5" right-hander, who weighs 200, takes his final warm-up toss. Gary Carter is the catcher. Larry Parrish at third. Chris Fire at short. Jerry Manuel playing second, and Warren Cromartie first base. Terry Francona in left. Andre Dawson, the center fielder. The right fielder is Jerry White. Lee Elia coaches at first for Philadelphia. Ruben Amaro at first base. And the batter is Lonnie Smith, a speedy right-handed batter. The first pitch to him. Ball 1 is high. Smith had a 25-game hitting streak concluded yesterday.
He has been a hot hitter for this ball club.
He can run. The pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball low, 1-1. Smith, Rose, and McBride, and if anybody gets on, Mike Schmidt. Montreal left a runner on in the top half of the frame. Swing and a miss, same pitch. Low breaking ball, strike 2. That's the way they get Smith out.
Well, Sanderson's big. He's about 6'5", and he comes at you. He steps about halfway to the plate before he lets the ball go.
Another one from Sanderson. Breaking ball, struck him out. He even dropped the bat.
Well, he froze Lonnie Smith right there. He threw a breaking ball, took a little something off it at Lonnie Smith, and he just couldn't pull the trigger.
Smith dropped the bat, and he was frozen in place. He's gone, called out on strikes, and here's Pete Rose. Rose has had 4 out of 12 in the 3 games. Led the National League in hits. Switch hitter, batting left-handed, and they play him to hit to the opposite field. He took ball 1 inside. He doesn't swing at many bad pitches.
Realize how many outs he's made in his career? He had about 3,600 hits.
3,600 plus. Here it comes. And a high fly ball to deep right field. It'll be caught. Almost in his tracks, Jerry White. He makes the catch for the out. Rose used to have quite a bit of power and could still hit, a dozen or 14 home runs if he tried all the time, but he doesn't try. He cranked it up that time.
He did. Paul got in on him a little bit. It hit about the middle of the bat, and when it left the bat, I thought it was hit better than it actually was.
He sort of clunked the ball, and Jerry White, right in his steps, he didn't know whether to come in or back, and then it turned out the ball was right to him. Big McBride shows the bunt and takes the ball. Montreal got a runner on. Dawson, who singled, stole second, was left at second when Carter struck out. Here, Lonnie Smith is fanned. Rose is flying out, and McBride swings and misses. Few clouds overhead. Cool afternoon here in the city of brotherly love. They'll play here again tomorrow if the Phillies win. And Bake McBride swings. He's jammed. He pops it up. That's trouble. That's going to be a hit. McBride is safe at first. Sanderson should have fielded the ball, but didn't know where it had gone.
Sanderson's the only one that had a chance at that. It was he jammed him with a fastball. Bake swung the bat, and it just was a little looper. We call it a flare right over the mound, and Sanderson was the closest one to it. And there was nothing Parrish could do except run and try to throw it out barehanded with Bake running. And with his speed, there was no chance.
That wouldn't be so bad for Montreal, except that it allows Mike Schmidt to bat here in the first inning.
And you know that Schmidt is like a time bomb ready to go off.
He's 2 out of 9 in this series. McBride's on at first. He can run, but they don't start the runners much with Schmidt at the plate. He drove home 91 this year. A little pop fly single for McBride. Cromartie holds against him. The pitch. Schmidt took ball 1. The umpire started to call the strike, then decided not to.
Well, Mike Schmidt's in a situation now where he feels he's going to get a pitch to hit. And as you said, if Bake tries to steal second base, then he's not too sure about that.
Schmidt waits, gets back in. Schmidt 2 out of 9 in the series. Sparkled with a glove yesterday and the arm. A lead by McBride and the pitch. Schmidt, a line drive into left field. That's going to go 2-0. Philadelphia. A flick of the wrist, and out it went. After a little infield hit by McBride, where he should have been retired. It's 2-0 Philadelphia. Sanderson got behind on a borderline pitch. The umpire almost called it a strike.
And there it is.
What difference that made?
And there it is. That Schmidt has been haunting the Expo Ball Club for a couple of years, and they've done a great job of pitching around him. Jim Fanning put him on with the winning run the other night. That's how much fear they had, and today he comes out and gives the Phillies a 2-0 lead early.
Gary Matthews takes ball 1. Scott Sanderson allowed 10 home runs during the year. Schmidt had a couple of those. Well, he just flicked the wrist and a howitzer shot zoomed over the fence and left in this friendly park. There's a base hit to center by Gary Matthews with 2 out. Andre Dawson gets to it and holds him to a single. 3 hits in a row after 2 are out. I knew something was going to happen after that little infield hit by McBride, which Sanderson should have fielded.
Sanderson just froze. You know, pitchers aren't used to making fielding plays, especially on pop-ups. And he finished up in front of the mound when that ball was hit. He never reacted to the ball at all, and he was really the only one that had a chance to flag it down.
And now Moreland hits it on the ground to short, fielded by Spire. Force out, and the inning is over. What a good inning for the Phillies, and they need some good innings. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 left. At the end of the first inning, Philadelphia 2, Montreal nothing.
Big values on the hardware that you need, and when you need a little help, you know you found a friend indeed. Service Car, next to the man who owns the store. Service Car, it's the greatest name in hardware. Next to the man who owns the store. Service Car, it's the greatest name in hardware.
You'll never find. Who all sang the national anthem here today, and they're playing some of his recorded hits. We go into the second inning. People are still buzzing about that Mike Schmidt home run. Joe Torre, you said he was a time bomb waiting to go off. Well, somebody lit his fuse, didn't they?
Boy, he just popped those big wrists, and the ball was no problem. It was right down the middle, and he just turned on that ball and got out of here in no time.
Harry Parrish leads it off for Montreal and takes a strike. We're underway in the second inning, and Parrish is 0 for 11. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Parrish will go into slumps of this sort. He helped to carry the Montreal team during the month of September and was voted their player of the month. He's 0 for 11, and he jumps back from ball one.
He fights himself a little bit, Jackie. Yesterday, he got up there with 2 men on base and swung at a pitch and popped up, tried to pull it.
Here's the pitch high, 2-2. Parrish, Francona, and Spire will be up for the Expos in the second. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Dickie Knowles, who gave up a hit and recorded a strikeout in the first inning, gets his second of the day as he tries to protect the 2-0 lead. And Parrish is 0 for 12. Terry Francona is 3 for 6, and everybody likes the prospects of this young player.
This young player is about 6'2" and hits the ball to all fields and doesn't seem to be afraid to get up there and have the pitcher challenge him.
Dickie Knowles, the Philadelphia right-hander, brings it home to Terry Francona. Francona, hard hit ball to second. Trio backhands it. Straightens up and throws. He's out. 2 gone. Trio is a very cool second baseman. He'll rush to the ball, but once he catches it, he takes his time, he plants himself, and flips it over to first base, and he has a good arm when he has to unload.
Very unusual throwing style. He throws the ball underhanded, but as you say, he flips it, and he's got a lot of wrist motion, and the ball gets over there with quite a bit of velocity on it.
If he has to make the hurried play, though, he's capable of that.
He sure can. He's a complete player. You know, he's probably the best second baseman if you count the offense in the National League right now. Of course, the kid I had over at New York, Doug Flynn, I think can field with anybody.
They have one in St. Louis, too, Joe, and Tom Herr, who ranks with both of them.
Well, he's got a ways to go. He's just a baby, and he's got something going for him, too. He's a switch hitter, and he likes to play.
Here's a strike call to the batter, Chris Spire. Knowles retired the first 2 in the first inning. Then Dawson singled and Carter struck out. He's taking care of the first 2 here in the second inning and throws it high to the Montreal shortstop, Chris Spire, who's had 4 out of 6 and had 4 walks as well. He's been one of the offensive stars for the Expos. They play him straight away. He doesn't have much power. Pitches high, ball 2.
It's important for Dickie Knowles to get a couple innings under his belt where he knows he can throw strikes, because he could let himself get out of hand a little bit. He's got a short fuse temper-wise.
Next pitch to Spire. Just misses low. Knowles wanted that call, didn't get it. 3-1. There have been some pitchers over the years who drive you nuts. They get the first 2 guys out and then constantly put somebody on base before they get the third out. There's a foul by Spire. 3-2. You've known pitchers like that, Joe.
Well, I managed one the last couple of years. Neil Allen was one of the better relievers in the game, and he'd go out there and make it interesting all the time, but mainly for the fans, not for me.
A full count of 3-2 on Spire. Parrish struck out. Francona grounded out. Now Spire swings and pops it up. There's a play for Rose, a foul ball. He's under it. Yep. Down in order go the Expos in the second inning, and in the middle of the second inning, the score. Philadelphia 2, Montreal 0.
This bug's for you. There's no one else who does it the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This bug's for you. This bug's for you.
For you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
I'm Rob Armstrong, CBS News. Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and Hosni Mubarak, who will be affirmed as Egypt's president Tuesday, have agreed to hold a summit meeting in 3 weeks. That, according to Israeli radio. Anwar Sadat was entombed today in Cairo. The site is marked with a black stone inscribed with gold Arabic letters, "Hero of War and Peace who died for his country." A bomb blast in London, England, killed 1 woman and injured 27 others. The Irish Republican Army claims it planted the bomb in a van near an army barracks in central London. And 250,000 or so demonstrators marched through Bonn, West Germany. The demonstrators say they oppose the deployment of medium-range American missiles in West Germany. Rob Armstrong, CBS News.
We go into the second inning, leading off Larry Boa, the number 7 hitter. Manny Trio will follow. And then the pitcher, Dick Knowles. Against Scott Sanderson, the right-hander. The Montreal pitcher delivers, and Boa hits it hard to second. And a diving catch of a line drive by Jerry Manuel. 1 out.
Made a great play on that one. He dove to his right, and they weren't sure if he trapped it or not, but the umpires were right on it. Jerry Crawford called it right away at second base.
Thinking about that Mike Schmidt home run in the first inning with a runner on and 2 out. A little pop fly base hit by Bake McBride on the infield right behind the pitcher's mound. That kind of forced Montreal to pitch to Schmidt. Even then, I bet Sanderson is saying, well, I really could have pitched around him. And it's come to the point in this league, especially when the bases are empty, that you're crazy to challenge Mike Schmidt. Just pitch around him and take what follows.
I'll tell you, that even goes if you have a lead and he's hitting with the bases loaded, because if you're walking with the bases loaded, it's only 1 run. When he gets a hit, most of the time it's a home run.
Manny Trio is up, ball 1. Trio's having a tough series with 1 out of 9. Pretty good hitter, right-handed batter. Took it high, ball 2.
But that one hit was the one that opened the gates yesterday, that base hit up the middle that allowed the Phillies a little breathing room.
Trio from Valenzuela. He waits. He can crank it up. He's hit 6 home runs this year. Ball 3 is high from Sanderson. And the pitcher is due to bat next. Strike called. It's 3-1. Trio is from Caritito, Valenzuela. He is 30 years old. So he'll be around for a few more years to help the Phillies. Ball 4 puts him on. 1 on, 1 out, and the pitcher up. Knowles had 2 hits out of 19 at-bats. Not a very good hitter at all.
Well,
they'll expect him to bunt.
They'll call on the bunt and get Trio to second base and see if Lonnie Smith can pick up another run here in the second inning.
Ball lined out. Trio walked. They like to run and bunt on Philadelphia. There's a ground ball to the pitcher. He throws to first. He passed up a possible play at second base. There are 2 out. Runner at second with 2 out. Lonnie Smith struck out his first time. Philadelphia got 2 in the first with 2 out when Mike Schmidt hit the home run after a Bake McBride single. Lonnie Smith at the plate, a runner at second, a swing and a shot to center. Andre Dawson came in, goes back, jumps, and catches the ball. Dawson, a very good center fielder, took 1 step in and was almost fatal.
Another one of those balls hits straight at you, which is the toughest ball for an outfielder because they lose their depth perception on that. And he started in and then just did get back in time to make the play.
You and I were both here early, Joe, and watched batting practice, and the ball is really zooming out of here today.
Ball jumps out of this ballpark a lot more so than it does at Olympic Stadium.
On a day like this, it sounds like thunder when they hit it. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, 1 left. The Phils have stranded 2. That's the end of the second inning with the score, Philadelphia 2 and Montreal nothing. Third inning, the Phillies on top by the score of 2-0. Joe, when you look back at the 3 games that have been played, Montreal won 3-1, 3-1, had only 2 runs yesterday, so they've had only 8 runs in the 3 games. They haven't knocked the cover off the ball.
Now, they have to rely on their pitching, and Philadelphia is the explosive type club, and when they started scoring yesterday, Dallas Green, I'm sure, was hoping they'd carry it over to today, and they've been hitting the ball pretty well today.
We're down to the tail end of the Montreal batting order. They had a hit by Dawson in the first. He was left on. Dickie Knowles has retired 4 in a row. Jerry Manuel leads off. Strike called. Breaking ball, and Knowles is getting the breaking stuff over. He used to be a power pitcher. He's in the middle of changing. Strike called, another breaking ball. Strike 2.
Here it is. You know, when you teach young pitchers, you want to make sure they can throw the breaking ball for a strike when they get behind, because at the major league level, it's awfully tough to expect to throw 2-0 fastballs by people.
Manuel takes ball 1. He is 0 for 10 in the 3 games played. Nobody on, nobody out. Third inning.
0 for 10 had some problems defensively yesterday. That could really weigh on him.
Swing and a line drive into left. That ball is a base hit in front of Matthews. He knocks it down, picks it up. Manuel stays at first. Dickie Knowles made a mistake.
He threw a pitch right down the middle, and you just can't do that to anyone, much less someone that you really had swinging at bad breaking balls. He looked like he threw him a fastball right down the middle.
He's a strange-looking hitter. Talking about Jerry Manuel, he batted 200 during the year. He's 0 for 10 in this series. Yet, when he does hit the ball, it really flies off his bat.
He's got some pop. He hit a foul home run here the other night, yesterday, and it just seems like he just likes to hit the fastball. That's the problem.
Sanderson is going to bunt, and the ball went foul, hit the bat as Knowles threw it right at him, and Sanderson had a heck of a time getting out of the way, strike one. That's the old Casey Stengel trick. When the batter squares around to bunt, and he's facing the pitcher, it's extremely difficult to get out of the way. And Knowles ran a fastball right in on him, and Jim Fanning comes out to check on the well-being of his athlete.
And Dickie Knowles doesn't like guys leaning out over the plate, even if it's just to try to sacrifice. He'll pitch inside to let you know he's out on the mound.
Leadoff single by Manuel, the second Montreal hit. The Expos trail 2-0, third inning. Next pitch coming. That hit slow outside. I had to laugh because Sanderson took a little different stance that time to bunt the ball.
Yeah. I tell you, pitchers aren't used to hitting, and when they get up there, and it's been costly already in its divisional play because the Houston Astros lost Sutton, the same type of situation where Jerry Roy's hit broke his kneecap, and he's had some surgery for it.
Runner on at first base, nobody out. Sanderson swings and misses. They switched off, and he had Rose and Schmidt charging in and tried to knock it by him. Sanderson had 4 hits during the year, and he drove in 6 runs.
Usually you give the pitcher the option, if they're charging you, to go ahead and swing away. It looked like it was a mix-up right there because nobody really charged. Pete was charging from first base, but Schmidt laid back, and if he would have gotten the ball down, it would have been an easy sacrifice. So I just think there was a little mix-up right there.
See if Montreal plays run and bunt. That's a favorite play of a lot of teams when they have a 2-strike count on the batter. And all they have to do is get the bunt down. Manuel leads away at first. Not running, and a ball. Outside, yeah, they say he went after it. He's out on strike. First base umpire said Sanderson offered at the ball, and he's out on strike.
Yeah, John Kibler gave the out sign from first base when Billy Williams asked him, and I thought he did bunt at the ball.
That's the first out of the inning, and we're around to the top of the order. Warren Cromartie. He bounced out to the pitcher his first time. There's hitting room through the right side as Rose holds against the runner. A throw over there. I've seen him call balks on Dickie Knowles, too. He likes to spin off that rubber, which you can't do.
Well, again, I think they might have different rules for these championship games.
1 on, 1 out. Strike call to Cromartie over the outside corner.
The Crow might be looking for a ball right here where he could pull in that hole because there's an awful lot of room between Pete Rose holding on the runner and Manny Trio at second.
The swing and a tap foul. Bounced up and hit the batter. No balls, 2 strikes. On deck, it's Jerry White. Yesterday, Larry Christensen gave the Phillies 6 strong innings. And today they want the same from Dickie Knowles.
If Knowles gets him into the 6th or 7th, I'd say the Phillies are in pretty good shape.
Next pitch, Cromartie jumps back. Ball 1. Cromartie batted .304 during the season, 6 home runs. They play him straight away. The infielder's in a step looking for the double play ball. Cromartie is not fast. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He was out in front of him. An off-speed pitch got him. He couldn't wait.
He threw him an off-speed pitch, made real good location pitch with it, and it's up to Jerry White now to try to get Andre Dawson up there with 2 men on base.
It was a leadoff single by Manuel here in the 3rd. He is still at first with 2 out. Rose continues to hold against the runner. White takes a ball. White flied to right his first time. It's 330 down the line and left and right. Here at Veterans Stadium, 371 in the power alleys, 408 to straightaway center field. Strike called at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 3rd. The Phillies lead 2-0. Knowles is strong.
Knowles is throwing strikes, and I'll tell you, that's been his only problem.
He jumps off the rubber and throws to first.
And this is a big hitter for him to get out because you just don't want your number 3 hitter getting up there with 2 men on base.
Next one coming. White swings and pops it up into left center. It's called for by Matthews, and he has it. So after the leadoff hit, the Expos can on 1-2-3, and they appear to be getting flatter all the while.
Well, they're thinking toward tomorrow and worried about how bad they played yesterday, and it looks good for the Phillies right now, but things can change.
In the middle of the third inning, Philadelphia 2, Montreal nothing.
Chrysler Corporation introduces 1982 cars at 1981 prices. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced 6-passenger front-wheel drive cars. Dodge Aries K-Coupe and Plymouth Reliant K-Coupe are $59.90. That's over $700 less than Chevy Citation Hatchback Coupe. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced 5-passenger front-wheel drive cars. Dodge Omni Miser and Plymouth Horizon Miser are $54.99. That's over $700 less than Ford Escort L 4-door hatchback. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced full-size pickup. The new Dodge Ram Miser is $58.99. That's over $600 less than Ford F-100 pickup. All prices and comparisons are based on published base sticker prices and exclude title, taxes, and destination charges. Compare. It pays to come to Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth for 1982 cars at 81 prices.
With regard to the scoring thus far in the contest, in the first inning with 2 out, Bate McBride had an infield hit. And then with a 1-ball count, Mike Schmidt knocked one out of here, a line drive that screamed over the left field fence. 2-0 Phillies lead as they bat in the third. Rose, McBride, and Schmidt coming up.
Now this Philly ball club, with all the disruptions that they do have, Jack, sort of remind me of the Oakland A's of a decade ago. No matter what went on in the clubhouse or the manager screaming and yelling, guys fighting, they just seem to come out in the field and answer the bell all the time.
They'll be the first to admit, however, that they were next to nothing in the games played in Montreal. Here's the pitch to Rose. Fly to right his first time. Ball 1 from Scott Sanderson.
They just don't like playing in that ballpark. They were wanting to play the Cardinals only because of Olympic Stadium, not necessarily the club they were playing against.
Ball 1 to Rose. The outfield plays him to the opposite field as he bats left. Swinging a ground ball to first. Right through Cromartie. Rose is safely on. Cromartie didn't turn the glove around, and Rose is safely on.
Ball went underneath Warren's glove, and he just didn't get in front of the ball. He has to block that ball right there, Jack.
And for Pete Rose, let's see if they give him a hit or not. Yes, they do. They give him a base hit. Too hot to handle, I guess, is the ruling, but a lot of first basemen would have caught that one.
Well, especially the left-handed first baseman, because it was on his glove side. He didn't have to reach across his body. It was an easy play to make.
Now McBride, tough to get on the double play. Swings and pops it foul back here. Out of play. Strike 1.
Anytime Pete Rose hits a ball, it's easy to say hit because he's had so many of them.
Montreal warms up a right-hander, Stan Bunsen, in their bullpen.
Well, they've had trouble out of the bullpen in the middle. They're strong starters and they're strong short men.
Rose at first, nobody out. A ball is up high to McBride. 1-1.
But yesterday proved with Lee coming in and getting banged around, and of course Sosa the same way, they're having a little trouble in the middle innings.
Nobody out. Phillies bat in the bottom of the third. Rose on at first. McBride waiting at the dish. Schmidt next. Off-speed pitch and a strike call. Sanderson got one in.
He kept the ball away from Bake again with that hole at first base with Cromartie holding against Rose. They're trying to hit through there and make it a first and third situation for Schmidt.
Wonder if the Phillies will do any running. Rose leads away. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He jammed him and struck him out.
Hey, Bake struck out quite a few times. He's having trouble getting started.
Who's this batter?
Let's listen.
You could almost do a broadcast without saying anything. But Smith just listened to the crowd reaction. and you'd know what he did. He's had 3 hits out of 10 at-bats in this series. He's batting 1 on, 1 out here in the 3rd inning. He smacked that home run in the 1st with a runner on base. The pitch. Strike called. Anderson let up a little bit, but got the ball dangerously high. Schmidt let it go by. Strike 1.
Well, Mike gets up there. He guesses quite a bit, Jack. He looks for breaking ball. He'll look for fastball, and there'll be times you can throw a fastball by him, and there are times he'll swing and miss at a breaking ball. He gets up there and he tries to figure out what he's going to swing at.
1 on, 1 out. Up high a ball. Schmidt will do a lot of things. He'll bunt the ball in certain situations. He'll go the other way with the ball, and he has power. I've seen him knock it over the opposite field fence.
He's strong. He can hit it. I thought he used a heavier bat. I asked him today. He said he only used a 35-ounce bat, which is heavier than the average bat being used today, but still not as heavy as I thought.
Schmidt takes a breaking ball, and it drops a little bit low. Ball 2, 2-1. That was a pretty good pitch. Sanderson wanted it, didn't get it.
Well, anytime you fall behind a guy like Mike Schmidt, you're in dangerous territory.
Schmidt from Dayton, Ohio. Gets back in. Rose leads away at first. Here it comes. In the dirt. Ball 3. I was talking to Rose before the game. He said he'll never steal second with Mike Schmidt at the plate. He said it just doesn't make sense, even if you know you're going to make it.
Well, that's for sure, because, again, you're giving the pitcher an opportunity to fill up that open base by pitching around Mike Schmidt. And let's admit it, he's the center of this. He's the nucleus of this offense, and you've got to give him a chance to swing the bat whenever it's possible.
3-1 to number 20. Philly third baseman gets back in. Rose on at first with 1 out. 2-0. Philadelphia leads. 3rd inning. Here it comes. Swing and a foul. He was trying to go the other way, and it's 3-2.
Well, you might see Petey move right now. 3-2. If he does hit it on the ground, you stay out of the double play, and you have a man scoring position.
Full count of 3-2 on Mike Schmidt. I bet he doesn't get a fastball.
Well, depending on which way he's thinking, whether Sanderson's going to be right or wrong, too.
Phillies trying to add to their 2-0 lead. They've out-hit Montreal 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Cromartie holds against Rose. 3-2 count. The runner going. Ball 4 is high. A breaking ball high, and he walks it. Second walk by Sanderson. 2 on for Gary Matthews.
And it's not always necessarily, like you say, he's not going to get a fastball, but it's not necessarily the pitch that the pitcher selects to throw a Mike Schmidt in a situation where it's 3-2. It's just the location of it. If he had thrown a fastball out of the strike zone, he could very well have struck Mike out, but he chose to go with the off-speed pitch and walked him.
Rose at second, Schmidt at first. Matthews singled his first time, and the Expos need a double play. Breaking ball, strike called. Must have broken a mile because Matthews bailed out. Strike 1.
He's not as much of a power pitcher as I remember Scott Sanderson to be.
2 on, 1 out. The Phillies ahead, 2-0. Bottom of the 3rd. Here it comes to Matthews. Swing and a smash. Stopped by the shortstop and safe at second. Out at first. First and 3rd with 2 out.
He was definitely safe, Jack. He came across the base to get Spire's throw. It wasn't close enough to be the old automatic out at second base.
Manuel was nowhere near the base. Spire wants an explanation from the umpire. He should have been on the base, and it should have been a double play. But the runners end up at second and 3rd with 2 out now. Rose went to 3rd. Schmidt down to second.
He did touch the base. He was right, but the problem was he didn't have the ball yet.
So Matthews is out. The play went 6-4-3, but it is not a double play. It's second and 3rd with 2 out. And whether or not that hurts the Expos depends on whether Scott Sanderson can retire Keith Moreland.
I just think that's another indication of the tenseness of the Montreal Expo ball club. They're not as relaxed as they were back home.
Chris Spire made a good stop on a tough chance to his right. A hard hit ball by Matthews, and it should have been an inning-ending double play. Now Moreland could drive in a couple. He takes ball 1 high.
And the first guy to scream was Pete Rose to make sure that Schmidt realized that he was not out at second. Because there's a habit you might start running off the field when you think it's an automatic force play.
Rose on at 3rd. Schmidt at second, 2 out. Ball 1 to Keith Moreland. 0 for 1 in this game. 5 out of 11 in the series. Ball high, ball 2. They have a base open. You have a choice here if you're Sanderson. You either pitch to Moreland or pitch to Boa.
Well, Boa's just a singles hitter, but a single could do a lot of damage in this situation. So I guess they'll try to pitch around him. And, well, Gary Carter's going out to the mound right now because Fanning yelled something out of the dugout, and he's just probably relaying the message. Larry Boa yesterday, if you remember, with first and second in a situation that could have called for a bunt. Dallas Green had him swinging away, which indicates how much confidence he has in Boa because he's been swinging a hot bat.
Now here comes Jim Fanning. They have a pitcher in the bullpen. He looks like he's going to use an early hook. Fanning and Carter arrive at the mound. They talk it over with Scott Sanderson. Yeah, but he's going to use a new pitcher. Well, they're in good spirits out there. They're smiling about the situation, but, you know, it wasn't Sanderson's fault. He should have been out of this inning with a double play. The second baseman messed it up.
He sure did. I mean, he pitched well enough to get out of this inning, and, you know, we don't know everything involved. I don't know if Sanderson's had some arm problems or Jim Fanning just doesn't like the way he's throwing the ball, but he's making the change here. It looks like Stan Bonson.
Bonson, a curveball pitcher, long time of the American League, comes in as Scott Sanderson pitched 2 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 runs. He leaves 2 men on, and he's accountable for this batter if he walks. He's allowed 4 hits. He struck out 2 and he walked 2. Well, he's had ample time to warm up. He warmed up in the second inning as well as here in the third.
Started yesterday. They're really loose by now.
He inherits a 2-ball, no-strike count on Keith Moreland with runners on at second and third and 2 out. So let's see if Bonson can get the breaking ball over on the first pitch. I know if I were Moreland, I'd be looking for the breaking ball.
Well, he likes to throw the breaking ball for a strike, and, of course, Moreland likes to hit the fastball.
Moreland waits. Bonson off the stretch. Here's his first pitch. There's a base hit to right. 1 run will score. Here comes the other man, Schmidt. The throw's into second. It's 4-0. Moreland simply struck the ball to right field. It was wide open there. Pitch on the outside part of the plate. He went with it and makes it 4-0.
He just served that ball between first and second rather smartly, I'd say. And I'll tell you, another defensive lapse on the part of the Expos have cost them 2 runs here in the third inning.
The double play should have ended the inning moments ago. All 4 runs charged to Sanderson. And, of course, the managerial move backfires because Bonson didn't get him out. It's 4-0. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Phillies. The batter is Larry Boa. The pitch is a strike call. Moreland really plugged the hole between the first baseman and the second baseman. Here it comes. Ball high. Montreal has made a mistake in this frame, which has cost them 2.
And this is the way Dallas Green has played. You know, he realizes that Moreland can't catch with Booney, but he's in there to knock in the runs, and he sure did there.
And now Larry Boa takes strike 2 on a Stan Bonson curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boa looks up at the heavens. Philadelphia's had men on base in every inning. Here's the pitch. High outside, the runner goes, and a delayed steal. He is out at second base. Gary Manuel stumbled while making the tag, but put the tag on Moreland, who tried the delay steal, and that ends the inning.
Delay steal is good. The only thing the infielders have got to be aware of it. The catcher's always aware of it, but the infield drop their head. That's when the guy who's running can get an advantage.
Well, they pitched around Mike Schmidt. They walked him, but it didn't work. They got the double play ball off the bat of Matthews, but Montreal failed to execute. And then Sanderson was lifted. They brought in Bonson. Moreland greeted him with a hit. 2 runs on 2 hits. Nobody left. And after 3, the Phillies 4 and Montreal nothing.
The following soap opera is made possible by Delco GM Sound System.
Greg, I beg you, don't drive our house onto the freeway.
Cindy, if I have to commute...
There's a radio in the car.
You call that a radio? If the only place I can hear great sound is in my living room...
But, Greg...
Sometimes in a marriage, you have to try things. Now, get up on that tractor and let's get this house on the road.
Attention all units. I have a 2-bedroom ranch house proceeding down the Harbor Freeway. Suspect is white with a green roof pulled by a tractor driver wearing a blue chenille bathrobe.
I said you lost your porch back there.
What?
Pull this house over.
What's the problem?
We lost our porch, Greg.
Oh.
Driving your house to work was not a good idea, sir.
Yeah, I was into static and distortion before I even hit the on-ramp.
Home stereo components are designed to stand still. You want great sound from a moving vehicle? You go to the leading automotive sound specialist, Delco GM.
Delco?
Yeah, they made the first solid-state car radio, the first car stereo.
Really?
You can hear Delco at any GM car or truck dealer.
But what about our porch?
No, they don't put Delco in Porsches, no.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, cold sore blisters are the ugliest of all.
Help cold sores heal and blisters disappear with Camphofinique, liquid or gel. Camphofinique concentrates full-strength medication right on your cold sore, stops pain instantly, and forms an emollient germ-killing shield to help speed healing, help blisters disappear. Use only as directed. Camphofinique, liquid or gel. And now the gel comes in pocket and family size.
After 3, Dickie Knowles and the Phillies lead 4-0. We're going into the 4th inning with Dawson to lead it off. And let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
WIR AM and FM, Mount Carmel.
Andre Dawson singled, stole a base, was left on in the 1st, and leads off in the 4th. Well, you don't want him leading off when you're behind 4-0. You'd love to have him up there with men on base. He swings and pops it up foul back behind home plate. Montreal is not playing with their best, or today at their best. They're playing without Rodney Scott and also without Tim Raines. When those two are in their lineup, they are a different baseball team.
Well, they make for disruptions on the opposing club because I know with pitching and catching, when they have those two guys on base, pitchers are always looking over their shoulder throwing to the plate.
Dawson leading off, takes a ball. Montreal has had 2 hits. Dawson singled in the 1st. Manuel singled in the 3rd. The right-hander pitches, and that's a ball. 3-1. Well, when your teammates give you a 4-run lead, you don't want to walk the leadoff man. It will be Dawson, Carter, and Parrish. And 3-1 on the leadoff man. The pitch. Swing and a miss as Dawson really hammered at a high delivery. 3-2.
That might have been ball 4, but that's the only thing this kid has to learn, Jack, is the fact that let them walk you if they want to. When you start taking the bad pitches, then they're going to be forced to throw you strikes eventually.
3-2, the Montreal leadoff man, 4th inning. Here comes another. Strike called. He started to go, and he held up, and he's out on strikes, and that is the 5th strikeout for Dickie Knowles.
Well, Knowles, I'll tell you, he looked like he might be getting a little shaky there. He was 3 balls, 1 strike on the leadoff hitter with a 4-run lead, but came back and got the leadoff hitter, which is an all-important man to get.
It's a big day in the career of Dickie Knowles. You win a game of this sort when your team faces elimination. It does a lot for your stature and your self-confidence. Gary Carter fanned his first time and takes ball 1. Knowles has struck out 5. Call him Dickie Knowles. We use the diminutive because that is his name. Not Dick or Richard. Here it comes with 1 out. A swing and a long one, and that makes it 4-1. Gary Carter hammers one way back into the seats. His 2nd home run of this playoff series. And we've had 2 gigantic home runs here.
That's number 16. He tied those other guys, even though it won't count, I don't believe, in regular season play. That's the 16th home run that Gary Carter has hit here at the vet.
Well, he's a tough player. Dawson struck out, Carter homered, and Parrish swings and hits it on the ground to Boa. His long throw is okay. 2 out.
It's all right to guess, Jack, but please believe yourself. That's the biggest problem.
With the bases empty, it is Terry Francona. He grounded out his first time. If there is a game here tomorrow, it'll be played at 4 o'clock local time, Eastern time, and match Steve Rogers and Steve Carlton. The and the place will be jumping. With 2 out, Francona hits it high in the air behind third, chased by Matthews, glasses down, fair ball. He has it for the out. It was a tough chance.
Well, he was running out of room over there, and he basket catched it down the left field line because the left field line right down there has all fence on it. So he was coming, and the ball was coming. He did a good job of stopping himself.
Got the ball down around the knees. In the 4th inning for the Expos, a run on a hit, a Gary Carter home run. And in the middle of the 4th inning, the score, Philadelphia 4, Montreal 1. Stan Bonson is the Montreal pitcher. Larry Boa leads off in the Philadelphia 4th. Ball 1 goes low, and we're underway. Boa lined out to second his first time, and he was at the plate when Moreland was out stealing to win the home club's 3rd. Strike called, 1-1. Bonson's a breaking ball pitcher who'll show you the fastball. Won't give you much to hit ordinarily. Make you hit the breaking pitch. Here it comes, up high. They have added an error to the scoring in this game. It's been charged to Jerry Manuel, the Montreal second baseman. There's a ball hit back to the mound by Boa, fielded by Bonson and out at first. In the 3rd inning, with runners out at first and second, Matthews hit the ball hard to Spire. Spire fielded it through to Manuel. Manuel touched the base, then got off the base, and then caught the ball. They called the runner safe at second. They got the batter at first. And then Moreland drove home 2 runs. Now they've given Manuel an error for failing to make that play. So the runs are unearned in the 3rd, but the Phillies will take them, and the Phillies lead 4-1. The batter is Manny Trillo. He walked his first time. Trillo pops it up. It's a fair ball, and the first baseman wants it. Cromartie has it. 2 gone. The batter is Dickie Knowles, who's done excellent work for the Phillies. Monday night, October 12th, Hank Stram and I will be in Buffalo, where the Bills take on the Miami Dolphins. Dick Stockton starts it off at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Brent Musburger will be there at halftime. Miami at Buffalo. On CBS Radio, Monday night, Hear It Here. Strike call to Dickie Knowles. Scott Sanderson started. Bonson relieved in the 3rd. Bonson's pitching in the 4th. Ball 1. Two out. The base is empty. Phillies have not been set down 1-2-3 thus far in the game. Next pitch from Bonson goes inside. Knowles 2 hits in 19 at-bats this year. Looks at it high, 3-1. He knows a bad pitch when he sees it. He walked the pitcher. Bonson throws inside, and that's the 3rd walk issued to Philadelphia. Now Carter talks it over.
That drives a manager nuts.
Especially a fellow like Knowles, who is not a good hitter at all. Bonson just couldn't get the breaking ball over. So after getting Boa and Trio, he lost Knowles, and he deals with Lonnie Smith. Cromartie plays behind the runner at first. Smith takes a strike. A lot of the hitters are bailing out.
Well, he's a breaking ball pitcher, and that's what'll do it. Lonnie Smith likes to hit that fastball.
Smith has struck out, line to center. Took a ball outside. Knowles running the bases with 2 out. Bottom of the 4th. Philadelphia 4. Montreal 1. From the belt. The next pitch. Smith took strike 2. Another breaking ball.
Front leg buckled on him a little bit when he saw him drop down sidearm and didn't know exactly what to expect.
Bonson went to the rosin bag, gets the sign from Carter, and the pitch on the way. Strike called. A breaking ball, and Smith never swung the bat. He's 0 for 3.
That was the first pitch, Jack, that he threw overhand to Lonnie Smith. He was dropping down sidearm, so Smith probably didn't pick the ball up right away when he got on top again.
No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk and one left. The Phillies have stranded 3. Now at the end of the 4th inning, the score is the Phillies 4, Expos 1.
Watson, after 2.5 centuries, we have at last a clue to the mystery.
You mean the great violin mystery, Holmes?
Precisely. Think of it, Watson. 250 years of violin making, and none have matched the quality of a Stradivari.
I'm afraid it took the secret to his grave, Holmes.
Yes, until now. Science, Watson. Science has come onto something. There.
I don't see it, Holmes. Where?
On Novo, Watson. This Sunday on your local PBS station. Watch for the great violin mystery.
A production of WHA-TV in cooperation with WGBH.
Montreal leads it off with Chris Spire against Dickie Knowles. Spire fouled out to the first baseman his first time. He'll be followed by Manuel. Then the pitcher is due. Spire, who's been a hitting star in this series, takes ball 1 low. From the Philadelphia right-hander Dickie Knowles, who has registered 5 strikeouts in 4 innings. The right-hander pitches. Swing and a fly ball for the center fielder, and Smith broke back, comes on, and dives and drops the ball. Spire ends up at second base with nobody out. Lonnie Smith broke back, raced in, slipped and fell, dived for the ball, caught it, hit the ground, lost it, and Spire's at second base.
You have it in the right chronological order, too. He did all those things, and his speed made up for the breaking back, come in, caught the ball, and when he did hit the ground, the AstroTurf just knocked it right out of his glove.
Gary Matthews racing over there, had to hurtle over the center fielder.
It looked like he was going to kick him for a field goal, too.
Lonnie Smith is a fellow who's a very good athlete. He's coming in. I think he has a rug burn from the AstroTurf. He's going to come in and be treated by the trainer. He's a fellow who has very good athletic ability. He's a good hitter. He has good speed. He can catch the ball. Ironically, he has difficulty with his balance, Joe. He's always slipping, falling, crawling. He's half up and half down all the time.
See, I never had those problems in my playing days, Jack. My feet never went that fast to worry about running away from my body, but that's what happens to him. His feet move so quick that the rest of him has trouble keeping up with him.
And it was a break for Montreal. It should have been a routine fly ball into center field off the bat of Chris Spire, and it ends up with Spire at second and nobody out.
And I guess they gave him a double on that, huh?
Yes, they did. A 2-base hit. Put a little star alongside it. Now Smith came in and was checked by the trainer. Has to go into the dugout for further treatment. He's all right in the running department, but we're going to have to wait while he goes up the ramp. So it's something that immediate first aid cannot take care of.
Well, that AstroTurf can do a nasty burn to your arm, and that's probably what happened. He come in and he bounced pretty hard on that AstroTurf, and it looked dangerous for a while because it really did look like Gary Matthews was gonna hit him.
Lonnie Smith is going to leave the game, and Gary Maddox is going to take over, so that helps the Philadelphia defense and really does not diminish their offense that much.
No, Gary Maddox is a great player, and it's just that Dallas Green's been playing Lonnie Smith because he's been hot with the bat. And, of course, they're improved defensively now with one of the best center fielders in the game out there.
And Smith had made the last out in the 4th inning. He was 0 for 3 in the contest. So Gary Maddox takes over in center field, and we should be underway immediately.
And when we get that report on Smith, we'll pass it right on to you.
He took a nasty hitter. I know that I chuckled when it happened, but it really was a bit humorous to watch him flopping around out in the outfield trying to get his feet going in the proper direction. And a break for Montreal.
Well, they have Manuel hitting, man on second, nobody out, and it's only the 5th inning. So as much wood as they can chop right here means that the big guys can do some damage later on.
Brad Mills comes on deck. He'll bat after Jerry Manuel. Manuel has to get the runner over. He might try to bunt his way on. He got a hit in the 3rd. And he's 1 for 11. Dickie Knowles pitches. Over but low, ball one.
Even though they're 3 runs behind, 1 run here in the 5th inning just cuts the lead. Instead of a 3-run lead, it's a 2-run lead. And as much wood chopping as you can do before the end of the game, the better off you are.
And now Manuel takes one upstairs, and that's ball 2. Things are starting to swing over to the Montreal side of the momentum board.
And some rattling going on. The phone is ringing down in the Philly bullpen.
Knowles was behind to Chris Fire, came back and should have retired him, but the center fielder messed it up, and now ball 3 inside to Jerry Manuel. And there they go, out in the bullpen.
Looks like Brewstar.
Warren Brewster is warming up. Manuel will take a pitch or 2. If he walks, it'll bring the tying run up there. Ball 4 is inside. So Dickie Knowles springs a leak here and walks his first man. There are 2 on, nobody out, and Brad Mills is the batter, and Herm Starrett, the pitching coach of the Phillies, comes out to talk to his hurler.
Well, let me tell you about Dickie Knowles. He's got a problem. When he gets behind, he gets a little rattled, he gets mad. He pitched the last week of the season against our ball club here in Philadelphia. They beat us 12-4, and he couldn't get out of the 5th inning, Jack. That particular night, the fans jeered him when he came off the field, and he wound up throwing his glove into the stands. So it gives you an indication the kind of fire inside this kid.
Bonson is through, lifted for the pinch hitter, Brad Mills. He pitched an inning and a third, no runs, 1 hit. He struck 1 out, and he walked 1. So we'll be seeing the 3rd Montreal pitcher of the day. Herm Starrett goes back into the dugout, and Brad Mills is the batter. The youngster, a third baseman by trade. Bats from the left side. He's the tying run. He takes a ball low outside, and this kid's a pretty good-looking hitter.
He's a good contact hitter, and that's what they want. He runs pretty well, and they want to get some run. They want to get a couple of runs this inning.
Mills from California, a left-handed hitter all the way. The outfielder around to the left. He has a little pop in his bat. He took a strike call, and it's 1-1.
It just doesn't look to me like Knowles is popping the ball. It looks like he's guiding it. He's not letting it go. He's worried about throwing strikes instead of just worried about throwing the ball hard.
Chris Fire got a gift double. Jerry Manuel walked. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to the batter. Here it comes to Mills. A swing and a miss at a bad ball low. Oh, they say it didn't go around. Third base umpire said no, he didn't swing.
Terry says they didn't swing. I thought he went around far enough, but again, you're going on human beings out there. Some guys see it different.
2 balls and a strike to count. And Montreal's starting to get some breaks. Mills waits, and now he takes it high, and that's ball 3. And there's nobody out here in the 5th inning with the Phillies leading 4-1.
This is the way it is. You don't want this to happen. I believe if he walks him, he's gone. He's going to have to bring in another pitcher because the worst thing you want to do now is just start walking the ballpark.
2 on, nobody out. 3-1 to Brad Mills. The pitch, swing, and a pop foul off to the left, and it goes out of play. And that's another break for Montreal. They're starting to get him now, Joe.
Well, things change. You know, it changed about the middle of the game yesterday in favor of the Phillies, and here it is, just the middle of the game today, and it just seems to be bending back the other way again.
It was 4-0. Gary Carter homered in the 4th, and now the Expos threaten here in the 5th inning. They trail, so they can't start the runners. Spire and Manuel on a 3-2 pitch. We'll watch the runners. They lead away. They're not running. Ball 4 is high, and the bases are loaded. The tying runs are on base, and nobody out. And the top of the Montreal order coming up.
Here comes Dallas Green.
And that's going to be all for Dickie Knowles. Well, the misplay behind Dickie Knowles changed this contest around. The center fielder, Lonnie Smith, should have handled the ball hit by Chris Fire to start the inning. And after it fell in there for a double, he walked Jerry Manuel. And then he walked the pinch hitter, Brad Mills, and may have gotten a break, Mills did, on a half swing. And Knowles leaves. And the relief pitcher, Warren Brewster, is going to have a tough job. They'll try to protect a 4-1 lead. 5th inning, bases loaded, nobody out, the top of the order up. Warren Cromartie, and don't forget, if the Phillies lose today, there'll be no Carlton, there'll be no game tomorrow.
Well, right now, you've got a sinker ball pitcher coming in here, and they're willing to give up a run for a double play. because now this game could get out of hand, could swing the other way. Montreal has the top of the order coming up, bases loaded, nobody out, and they're leading 2-1 in this best-of-5 series.
You think perhaps that play by the center fielder upset Knowles? We made references to it a while ago that he has difficulty with his temper and temperament.
It could very well be, because he was rolling along pretty good. He was getting behind in a couple of hitters, but he bounced back to get them out, and he just couldn't recover from that misplay in center field.
So Warren Brewster takes over here in the 5th inning. He is coming back off of an injury. He was on the disabled list, and at one time in the National League, there was no better middle relief man than Warren Brewster, and this is the kind of situation in which he really excels.
Well, he's not a strikeout pitcher, but as I said, he gets the ball down, and when you get the ball down, you have a double play combination, like a BOA, like a trio. You can get 2 outs with 1 pitch, and this is what they're looking for right here.
He'll be facing Warren Cromartie, who is 0 for 2, hit back to the pitcher, and he struck out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a line drive. Trio grabs it. Safe all around at first, second, and third. Boy, that would have been big trouble for Philadelphia, but Manny Trio lunged to his right. Up on his tiptoes, he caught that line drive. Good base running by the runner at second base, Jerry Manuel.
Well, in that situation, you want to make sure you watch out for the line drive. They're being reminded all the time to do that. But if Trio doesn't make that grab, that ball goes all the way to the wall, because they're playing Cromartie a little bit around the other way, and that was pulled to the first base side of second base.
That would have tied it up. He hit the daylights out of it. Trio caught it. The batter is Jerry White. He's flied to right, and he's flied to left. And Andre Dawson is on deck. So Brewster got 1 out with the help of Manny Trio's glove. What a big put out that was. Phillies still lead 4-1. The pitch to White is low, ball 1. That would have tied it up, Joe.
That sure would have. That would have gone all the way to the wall. I don't care what kind of a center fielder Maddox is.
Mike Froley warms up for the Phillies now. Next pitch. Swing and a high fly ball to right field. Sends McBride back to the wall. 2 runners tag. There's the catch. A run home to score. Another man over to third. It's 4-2 with a run charge to Dickie Knowles. So Jerry White got a sacrifice fly. The tying runs are on at first and third and 2 out, and Andre Dawson is up.
Well, right now, if they come out of this thing just by giving up 1 run, I'd have to say that Mr. Brewster has done his job.
Funny thing about Andre Dawson, he hit 24 home runs during the year. 21 of them came with the bases empty.
Well, he gets a little over-anxious, and with bases empty, you're going to give him more pitches to hit. I think it all goes back to us talking about him not being as selective as he should be.
First and third, 2 out. Dawson, who got a base hit in the first, stole a base, struck out his next time up, takes ball 1.
Of course, you'd rather have a hitter like that, because he can always become selective. It's tough to get a guy who doesn't swing at the ball to start swinging at it. This is just a matter of him being very aggressive, and he'll just have to channel it a little better.
They play Dawson to pull the pitch. Strike call as Brewster got one in there. Jerry Manuel on at third. Brad Mills, the tying run on at first here in the 5th inning for the Expos. Here's another pitch. Swing and a high pop fly into right field. Should be handled. McBride is there, and he has it for the out. Brewster did a heck of a job. A line drive and 2 fly balls. So Montreal is still on the short end of it. Dawson flied to right. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 left. Montreal is stranded 4. What a great relief job by Warren Brewster. Now in the middle of the 5th inning, the score is the Phillies 4, Montreal 2. Well, the Expos are disappointed. They had the bases loaded, nobody out, got only 1 run home, Joe Torre, but even that run is a big one. It makes the score 4-2.
It cuts it down where, they just get 1 man on base, and then a 2-run homer ties it up. But Brewster sure did his job, and to come in there with bases loaded, nobody out, with the top of the order coming up, and just giving 1 run, it's got to be a big lift for the Philadelphia ball club.
They got a break on the line drive hit by Cromartie with the bases loaded.
He did his job. He hit the ball hard. You can't direct the ball. Now the pressure's all back on Montreal again. The middle relief men who failed them yesterday are going to have to keep them in the ball game right here.
Rose leads off. Pete takes the ball outside. We're underway in the home half of the fifth. Phillies about hit Montreal 5-4. Phillies lead 4-2. Here it comes. Rose takes the ball. Ball 2. He flied to right. He singled.
Sosa, who's turned into a middle relief man since the acquisition of Jeff Reardon, has really been struggling of late.
Fly ball foul by Rose, out of play, 2-1. Rose has had 5 out of 14. And this is the fourth game. Montreal won 3-1. They came back and won 3-1 again, and the Phillies won it here yesterday 6-2. Now the Phillies lead 4-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth. Here's the pitch to Pete Rose. Swing and a line drive into left field. Francona there, glasses down, makes the catch.
He doesn't panic, that kid out there. That ball, he seemed to have a little trouble picking it up, but he put the glasses down and just loped over and caught the ball going toward the line.
Batter is Big McBride. McBride singled and scored ahead of Mike Schmidt when Schmidt homered in the first inning. Then he fanned in the third. Here's the pitch. Strike called, and Sosa gets ahead on the count. Elias Sosa, much traveled. Here it comes. There's a fly ball and an off-speed breaking ball into left. Francona glasses down, makes this catch. 2 out. 2 men gone. Schmidt bats with the bases empty. And the crowd always comes alive when he's up. Sosa is from the Dominican Republic, lives in Arizona. The Expos count on him to hold the Phillies in check. Schmidt will try to get Sosa's sinker ball up into the air.
Well, you know Schmidt has home run in mind now. 2 out, nobody on. Figures to try to get 1 back, and there are very few players that have ever played this game that can go up there and think home run and hit one.
Here it comes to Mike. Strike called.
So he's liable to take 2 strikes because he knows what he has in mind. He's looking for a pitch that he can jerk out of the park, and he's just going to hope he gets it.
Francona's in the left field corner. The pitch is fouled back, and that's strike 2. Sosa would really give his team a lift if he sets the middle of this Philadelphia order down. 1, 2, 3. Gary Carter will lead it off in the 6th inning for the Expos. Almost the entire playing field is still bathed in sunlight here in Philadelphia today. Phillies have to win or it's all over. Schmidt took strike 3 call.
That was a breaking ball. He made a good pitch with it, kept the ball away from Mike. Mike might have been looking for a waste pitch right there, but didn't get it.
Down in order go the Phillies, and now at the end of 5 innings, the score is Philadelphia 4, Expos 2.
Chrysler Corporation introduces 1982 cars at 1981 prices. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced 6-passenger front-wheel drive cars. Dodge Aries K-Coupe and Plymouth Reliant K-Coupe are $59.90. That's over $700 less than Chevy Citation Hatchback Coupe. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced 5-passenger front-wheel drive cars. Dodge Omni Miser and Plymouth Horizon Miser are $54.99. That's over $700 less than Ford Escort L 4-door hatchback. For 82, Chrysler introduces America's lowest priced full-size pickup. The new Dodge Ram Miser is $58.99. That's over $600 less than Ford F-100 pickup. All prices and comparisons are based on published base sticker prices and exclude title, taxes, and destination charges. Compare. It pays to come to Dodge and Chrysler Plymouth for 1982 cars at 81 price.
The 6th inning rolls around with the Phillies on top, 4-2. Don't miss out on the fun and excitement of baseball next year. Now's the time to do something about it. Now's the time to make sure you and your family don't miss out on next season's exciting games. Call your favorite team. Ask about 1982 season tickets. I'm certain they'll have a ticket plan to fit your needs. It's a great way to entertain your family and your business associates. Do it now. Join the millions of fans every year who enjoy Major League Baseball at the ballpark. Baseball fever. Catch it now for 1982. It'll be worth it. The preceding has been brought to you on behalf of Major League Baseball. second in the Montreal fifth with the bases loaded, nobody out. Got a line drive, a break on a line drive off the bat of Cromartie to the second baseman. And then he got Jerry White on a sacrifice fly to right, and he got Andre Dawson on a fly ball to right. So Carter leads off. He has struck out and homered in this game. With the score 4-0, Carter homered in the fourth. Now he leads it off in the sixth. Brewster's pitch has popped up. A fair ball, and Manny Trio wants it. He's under it and has it.
Well,
and Brewster is retired 4 in a row.
The game is in the hands of the middle relief men. They're going to try to fight their way to the 7th or 8th inning right now, but with a 4-2 game and a 4-2 lead in favor of the Phillies, Brewster is just trying to make sure it stays that way, so he turns it over to McGraw or Ron Reed or Sparky Lyle.
Larry Parrish with a base hit up the middle, his first hit in the series. He had been 0 for 13, but he rammed a high pitch right back where it came from, and that makes the hits even at 5 apiece in this contest.
And it brings the tie-in run to the plate.
And that batter is Terry Francona. He hit only 1 home run during the regular season. He hit that one off of Bruce Sutter of the Cardinals, a line drive over the right field fence.
That means you can hit one against anyone, that's for sure.
1 on, 1 out, and a swing and a miss. Francona tried to go the other way. Sparky Lyle warms up for Philadelphia. Tying run at the plate for Montreal. There's a foul trying to go to left again. Strike 2. Carter popped out. Parrish singled. Expos have left 4 men on. They trail 4-2, 6th inning. Brewster from the belt to the plate. Low outside. Brewster is very good at getting that double play ball.
And again, he wants the ground ball. He's going to try to keep that ball away from Francona, but Francona can take you to left field with.
Another pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a sinker ball.
Terry Francona doesn't strike out very much, but Brewster's keeping the ball down. Last inning, he didn't get the ball down like he wanted to, but came away lucky. But this inning, he's getting the out. He got that big out right there, because you want to eliminate having more than 1 man on base with less than 2 out.
Chris Spire is up. He started the rally in the 5th inning. The fly ball to center field that was mishandled by Lonnie Smith. He was credited with a hit. He scored a run, and he's 1 for 2, and he's had 5 hits in this playoff, along with 4 walks. Ball 1. He's had 5 out of 8 and 4 walks.
And
so we've seen an awful lot of Chris Spire.
What you just see right now, Mike Schmidt is moving over toward the line a little bit. He wants to take the extra base hit away from him.
A half swing and a miss by Spire evens the count 1-1 as the sun ducks behind the clouds.
With 2 out right here, it's still going to take 2 hits to score Parrish, but the double down the line could knock him in too, so that's what Schmidt's going to take away from Spire.
Here it comes to Chris Spire. Swinging a ground ball through the hole, and it goes on through into left field. The lead runner, Parrish, stops at second. The tying runs around. The batter is due to be Manuel, but he's called back, and Spire gets his 2nd hit, his 6th of the series. He's been on base 10 times.
He's had a great series. He really has. Chris Spire, where the Montreal Ball Club really hasn't said they've been looking for a shortstop, but they feel that's one of the places they have to get better at, have had a great series from Spire thus far.
Well, here's a fellow who's hurt a few National League teams over the years. John Milner used to be with the Mets, went to the Pirates. He's with Montreal now. A left-hander, and he can pull the ball with power.
And John's a good hitter also. He can hit the left-handers pretty well. And I know one thing. I don't know if John Milner, it could be significant, but everywhere he's gone, the clubs seem to win. He went to Pittsburgh, and they won over there, and in the middle of this year, he comes over to this ball club, and all of a sudden they win the second half.
2 on, 2 out, and he could jolt Philadelphia. Brewster on the mound. Here it comes. Strike called. He nailed the outside corner.
He's trying to stay away from John. John likes to hit that ball on the inside part of the plate, although there are times that he'll take a strike on the inside corner when he doesn't think it is one.
Here it comes. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Parrish on at second. Spire, the runner at first. Spire is the tying run. 4-2, the Phillies lead. 6th inning. Philadelphia has to win, or it's over. From the belt to the plate to Milner. Swing and a line drive, base hit in the right, and a run will score. The other man heads for third, and he's safe. McBride throws into second, and it's a 4-3 game. McBride wasn't certain where to go with that ball when really there was only one play. He threw it into second base. Spire raced to third. Parrish crossed the plate, and it's 4-3.
I think Bake slipped a little bit when he didn't get the ball, and it sort of slipped out of his hand, but he wind up getting the ball to second base. And now it's 1st and 3rd, and the time runs at third base, and we have another pinch hitter.
Wallace Johnson is going to bat for Sosa here in the 6th. As the Expos come back, they trailed 4-0, and now they trail 4-3. Mike Phillips, a reserve infielder, will run for Milner, who delivered the 2-out hit.
He'll stay in the game and go to second base.
Phillips is the pinch runner here in the 6th inning.
And as a left-hand hitter, Wallace Johnson, just from the limited time I've seen him, likes the low fastball left-handed. And Brewster is a low fastball or a single ball pitcher, so it could be power, strength against strength right here.
Sosa pitched 1 inning. Gave no runs, no hits. Struck out 1 and walked none. And Montreal will be employing their 4th pitcher of the day in the bottom of the 6th inning. Meanwhile, Wallace Johnson is up. And he'll be hitting from the left side. He could tie it or put the Expos on top. Spire, the runner at third. Phillips at first. Now here comes Dallas Green. He waited till Johnson was announced. He has the veteran, Sparky Lyle, in the bullpen. And he's going to make a move. Sparky Lyle is going to be the 3rd Philadelphia hurler. Throughout the day, Joe Torre has been talking about the fact that it will be the staff for each team. He's referring to the entire pitching staff. For Montreal, it'll be Sanderson, Bonson, Sosa, and now they'll be using a 4th pitcher. And the Phillies go with Knowles, now Brewster, and Lyle. Well, Brewster did the job in the 5th and got into trouble here in the 6th inning. He's pitched an inning and 2/3. He has allowed 1 run. The Expos haven't caught the Phillies yet. He gave up 3 hits, all in this inning. He struck out 1. He walked none. And Wallace Johnson is going to be facing Sparky Lyle.
It looks like Jim Fanny's going to make a move, and no, Wallace Johnson is coming back out. He tossed his helmet. All he did was put on his right-hand hitting helmet now.
He's a switch hitter, so he'll turn around and bat from the right side. This fellow's sort of a flat-foot hitter, Joe. He just throws the bat at the ball. I don't imagine he has much power. Now the Expos need a 2-out hit from Wallace Johnson. Switch hitter, bats right-handed, tying run, Spire on at third, lead run at first. They play around to the opposite field. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
That looked like a fastball. Turn the fastball over. You could pretty well rely on Sparky throwing one slider after another, but the little we saw of him this year, he's using the fastball a lot more.
Wallace Johnson gets back in. He wears number 62. Another one from Lyle with 2 on, 2 out, and a line drive, base hit in the left center. The game is tied. Maddox over to get it. There goes Phillips on to third. Johnson stays at first, and it's 4-4. Here we go. That pitch was up high, and he slapped it into left center.
All he did was get on top of the fastball. Looked like another fastball, but he didn't get the ball down, didn't turn it over, and as you say, Wallace, all he did was lay the bat on the ball and hit the base at the left center field.
And now there have been 3 Montreal hits in a row after 2 are out. And Cromartie is up. He's 0 for 3. He was robbed the last time. Phillips is on at third. Johnson at first. Lyle steps off the rubber. The Phillies were leading 4-0, and now it's tied 4-4. And Montreal has out-hit Philadelphia 8-5. Cromartie could put them on top for the first time today. Ball 1 is up and in.
Sparky again is having trouble with his location. Whether that last pitch that Johnson hit was a fastball or a slider was up, which is not where Sparky wants to pitch.
The next 2, Cromartie. Inside for a ball. Ball 2, and the fans are really restless. Rolls holds against Johnson at first. There's hitting room for Cromartie if he can pull the ball. They play him to hit to left. Here it comes on 2-0. Swing and a miss. Phillips, the lead run on at third base for the Expos. Johnson, the other runner at first, 2 out. Montreal's had 4 hits in this frame, all singles. And 3 of them after 2 are out.
Which are the tough ones to get.
Sparky Lyle kicks and fires. Up high. Ball 3 as Johnson bluffed a break off first base.
I thought he was going that time.
I think he slipped a little bit, Joe. He wanted to go. That would have been strange, wouldn't it?
Well, he just felt that Sparky wasn't even giving him a look, and I guess he was just going to take advantage of it.
The runners lead away at first and third. Warren Cromartie swings and misses 3-2. Cromartie's probably wondering how he missed that pitch. It was right into him.
Well, he pulled his head out a little bit. He knew he was going to have to get a strike 3-1, and he saw the ball, and he just didn't bother watching it all the way to the plate.
Now the runner, Johnson, will go off of first base with the pitch. Cromartie digs in. Sparky Lyle comes to the belt. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a bad ball high. A high breaking ball out of the strike zone, and Cromartie chased it.
Well, that was a big strikeout. Now we're fresh, and the hammer still belongs to the Phillies. They're the home team, and they're hitting in the bottom of the 6th.
For Montreal in the 6th, with Woody Fryman going to the mound. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 left. Montreal has left a half a dozen. In the middle of the 6th inning, the score is now Philadelphia 4, Montreal 4.
This is John Bohannon, CBS News. Egypt will soon have a summit meeting. The report says Prime Minister Begin and Egypt's new leader, Hosni Mubarak, have agreed to hold a summit in 3 weeks. Secretary of State Haig is staying in Cairo for a meeting with Prime Minister Begin. The rest of the U.S. delegation attending President Sadat's funeral is on the way back home. A bomb exploded today in a van near a British Army barracks in London. A woman passerby was killed and more than 30 other people were injured. The Irish Republican Army claims responsibility. Police in West Germany say about 250,000 anti-nuclear demonstrators went to a rally today in Bonn. John Bohannon, CBS News.
Well, now we've got a game here. We're in the bottom of the 6th, tied 4-4. Woody Fryman throws ball 1 to Gary Matthews, leading off for Philadelphia. Swing and a shot to right center. On the run, the right fielder, White at the wall. It's over his head. It's gone for a home run. Gary Matthews puts Philadelphia right back on top. That ball just kept going and going and going. And Fryman is greeted with a home run by Gary Matthews.
And look at that bench. The Phillies are all up on the top step. If there's anything that's more important than getting that opposing team out after you score, I can't think of it, Jack. This is where the Expos had to stop Philadelphia after they scored 2 to tie, but they came right back, and Matthews hit a ball that I just thought was over the right fielder's head. I didn't think it was out of the park, but it just kept going.
He's a right-handed batter, and he knocked it over the 371 mark in right center. So Woody Fryman is touched for 1, and the batter is Keith Moreland, and the crowd is roaring. Philadelphia leads 5-4. The pitch, a swing and a ground ball back to the mound. Good play by Fryman and out at first. Moreland, who drove in 2 runs earlier, made a bid for a hit up the middle, but Fryman latched onto it, threw him out.
One thing about Woody Fryman, he throws strikes. He challenges it. Even at his age, 40 years old, if that's the truth, I don't know. But he still goes after you.
Now the batter is Larry Boa. Strike call. This game belongs to Fryman to win or lose at the moment. Ground ball to the left of the shortstop. That's a hit for Boa. Now Philadelphia has 7 hits. Fryman has a record of 5-3 with 7 saves.
Well, he made a pitch to Bower on the inside part of the plate, and Larry just stroked it right through the middle.
That was only the 2nd home run hit off of Woody Fryman all year. Matthews muscled it out, and now Boa is a threat to run the batter's trio, and he's a threat to hit and run. Phillies lead 5-4, 6th inning. A lead by Boa, not going. Ball 1 inside the trio. He's 0 for 1 and 1 out of 10.
And you have Dick Davis on deck to pinch hit for Sparky Lyle. So you might see some hitting and running going on here to try to get some more tallies on the board.
Boa takes his lead. Draws a throw, and he's back in time. Earlier, Tug McGraw was warming up. Now he gives way to Ron Reed, a right-hander. Out in the bullpen in right field. The next one to Trio. Another throw to first. Ball on the count to the batter. A leadoff home run by Gary Matthews in this 6th inning. Second home run of the day for the Phillies, who lead 5-4. Boa not going, and there's a line drive, and what a play by the third baseman. What a play. What a grab by Larry Parrish for the out. The second out of the inning. That would have been a double and maybe a run batted in.
Definitely. Larry had great reaction to the ball. Dove toward the line. The ball was shoulder high. Turned his glove over and made a great stab at the line drive.
We didn't mention that Mike Phillips is playing second base after having been inserted as a pinch runner for Jerry Manuel.
Now, Phillips is mainly a shortstop, but he's been a utility man on a number of ball clubs, including your club back in St. Louis, so he's pretty well accustomed to playing all over.
Now Dick Davis is the batter. Right-handed hitter. He used to be with Milwaukee. He has some power when he connects. Big, tall, right-handed batter. Ball on at first with 2 men out. Fryman's pitch coming. Strike call. And as Joe Torre said, Fryman will throw strikes. He works in a hurry. There's not much agony when he's out there. You'll find out one way or another in a big hurry. 1 on, 2 out. The pitch. Davis swinging a bad ball high. Strike 2.
Then you have to be careful now. Boa wouldn't necessarily try to steal here because if he does get thrown out, Dallas Green loses his pinch hitter, being he's hitting in the pitcher's position.
Davis waits. Fryman is ready. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, fly ball behind second base. That's trouble. That ball is chased and caught by the shortstop Spire. He made a fine play. And the runner might have been able to score. Boa, as fast as he is, had that ball hit the deck.
Yeah, Boa was 2/3 of the way to third base, and all it had to do was bounce one time to give him an opportunity to score that another run for them.
A leadoff home run by Gary Matthews, a big blow. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left for the Phillies. They have stranded 4. And now that's the end of the 6th inning with the score, the Phillies 5 and Montreal 4.
Arnold Palmer tells us about a television commercial and how people are responding.
Everywhere I go, people are still asking me about the old tractor that I drove in the Pennzoil commercial, and they want to know if it's still running and if we're really using it in Latrobe. And I, of course, tell them that we're using Pennzoil, and with the modern technology involved in Pennzoil, why, I don't think that tractor will ever wear out. That old tractor and I are a little bit alike. We're both still using Pennzoil, and we're both still running.
Arnie knows that Pennzoil is a quality motor oil that keeps up with modern engine needs.
I know that Pennzoil is going to give me the quality and the protection in today's automobiles.
America has asked for Pennzoil since America learned to drive. Pennzoil, we ask for motor oil. Pennzoil.
Ron Reed comes into the game. He has a record of 5-3 with 8 saves during the regular season. And he'll bat in the number 3 spot as Bake McBride departs. And Dick Davis, the pinch hitter, stays in the number 9 spot. After 6 innings, the score is 5-4 in favor of Philadelphia. White, Dawson, and Cromartie will come up for the Expos in the 7th. It'll be White, Dawson, and Carter. And if anybody gets on, Parrish. Meanwhile, let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
WIR AM and FM, Mount Carmel.
The Expos has scored 2 runs on 4 hits in the 6th inning and have about hit the Phillies 8-7. We'll try to crank it up again here in the 7th inning. Bob Boone takes over behind the plate. Here's the pitch. And it is a ball low. So Boone will bat in the number 3 spot, and Reed will bat in the spot vacated by Moreland. So it's Reed and Boone the battery, and White's the batter, ball 2. We're in the 7th. Phillies hanging on by 1 run. Next pitch, White took low, ball 3.
Here we go again. These are the kind of games you want to be the home team.
On 3-0, the pitch. Strike call. Well, they say that Reed is batting 3rd, and Boone is batting 6th.
Okay.
Should think they'd be put into the other positions. Here it comes to Jerry White. Ball 4.
Well, not necessarily, Jack, because of the fact that if anything happens as far as knocking in a run, it's going to be the 6th hitter as opposed to the 3 hitter that's going to do it.
But the top of the order is coming up next.
Right, but you can always have the pitcher bunt for Schmidt or whatever. It's just a preference on the manager again, and I'd just as soon get the pitcher out of the way.
A leadoff walk to Jerry White, and the tying run is on, and the batter is Andre Dawson. He's 1 for 3 today, and a big home run threat. White's a threat to run. The pitch. Strike call, but he's not as much a threat to run with Boone catching as he would have been with Moreland catching. 3 walks given to the Expos today. Throw to first, and Jerry White hustles back. Now 3 walks and 8 hits for Montreal.
And Ron Reed is easy to steal off because he's another one of those pitchers who stands well over 6'4", and he has trouble unraveling himself.
Throw to first. And a late tag by Rhodes. As Dawson waits. Philly infield looking for the double play ball. A long look, and Reed steps off. White never moved over there at first. Now we're ready for the first one to Dawson. A swing and a miss. Second pitch to him, strike 2. Reed walked White, but now he's ahead of Dawson. And Doug McGraw is in the bullpen for Philadelphia. Next pitch coming. Swing and a fly ball into right field. Davis comes in, goes back, reaches up and makes the catch for the out.
That's a heart stopper right there. Dick Davis started in and then reversed his field and made an over-the-shoulder catch on a ball that was hit very well at the opposite field.
Dawson really hit it hard, but out. And Gary Carter is up. Carter drove home the first Montreal run with a homer in the 4th. He struck out, popped out, 1 for 3. And 5 out of 13 in the series. With 2 home runs.
What Ron Reed wants here is this to be the last time these guys hit in the game, because this is the 7th inning, and he hopes he can get them out right now.
Carter corks it into right center. Maddox on the run, and he can't get it. This game's going to be tied. There goes Jerry White for 3rd, and they send him home on a double by Carter. The throw home is too late. It's a 5-5 game on a double by Gary Carter.
The hitting star, without a doubt. Gary Carter hit that pitch right center field. It was slicing away from Maddox. He had no chance. The ball just bolted right by him, bounced off the wall. Now the lead run is at second base, and Gary Carter.
With 1 out, and the batter is Larry Parrish. So the middle pitchers have not done it. Brewster got the Phillies out of 1 jam and then gave up 2 runs. Sparky Lyle was not charged with any runs, but he gave up a big hit. And now Ron Reed has allowed the tying run. It's 5-5, 7th inning. Parrish takes ball 1. Montreal trying to end it for the Philadelphia Phillies. Expos lead 2-1. They've never been ahead in this game. This is the second time they've caught Philadelphia, which once enjoyed a 4-0 lead. Runner at second, and a swing and a miss by the batter. Did he go around? And yes, he did. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. A leadoff walk burns the Phillies. They could give up the lead. There's a bouncer to 3rd. Schmidt has it. His throw to 1st. Out, 2 out.
Schmidt made a nice play on that ball. It was a short hop. He bent down with it, didn't try to do anything fancy. Made sure he had the ball because he knows that Parrish doesn't run that well.
Here's a left-handed batter, Terry Francona, up now. A chance to be a Montreal hero. With the lead run, Carter on at second. and 2 out.
There's a decision for Dallas Green. You got a left-hand hitter, but you got one of the hottest hitters in the series back of him, Chris Spire.
Here's Francona with a swing and a miss on a sinker ball. Would you go ahead and pitch to Francona?
I've got to. Experience against inexperience. And again, you got a base open. You don't have to throw him a strike. Give Reed an opportunity to have Francona get himself out.
Reed pitches. Swing and a ground ball to second. Trio backhands the ball and throws. He's out. Montreal has scored the tying run here in the 7th inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. The Expos have left 7. And it is 7th inning stretch time. Woody Fryman back to the mound. In the middle of the 7th inning, the score, Montreal 5, Philadelphia 5.
There's a man who gives big values on the hardware that you need. And when you need a little help, you know you found a friend in need. Service Car. Next to the man who owns the store. Service Car. It's the greatest name in hardware. Next to the man who owns the store. Service Car. It's the greatest name in hardware.
Some game here, 5-5 in the middle of the 7th inning. Where will you be on the eve of the World Series? Wherever you are, tune in CBS Radio for the 1981 World Series preview with Win Elliott. Get set for the exciting days ahead. The preview on Monday evening, October 19th. Then live coverage of the World Series on most of these stations. Hear it here. Fans on their feet for the 7th inning stretch, and Woody Fryman, in his 2nd inning of work, will take on the top of the batting order. That means Gary Maddox, who will bat for the first time. Then Pete Rose.
Well, this is going to be a big inning for Montreal, and of course, a big inning for Philadelphia with the top of their order up. They're really expecting to score a run, and they've got to go at it.
Montreal leads in this playoff series 2-1. They need one more win to nail it down. We're tied 5-5 in the bottom of the 7th. Maddox batting for the first time, swings and fouls at strike 1.
And you've got the Montreal Expos guarding the line, so the holes are big between the first baseman, the second baseman, and Parrish at third, and the shortstop.
Here's another from Fryman, up high. Fryman worked the 6th, was greeted with a home run off the bat of Gary Matthews. He later gave up a single, but then got out of the inning. He pitches. Misses outside, ball 2. Woody Fryman, the tobacco farmer from Ewing, Kentucky. 5-game winner for Montreal this year. His pitch is high outside, ball 3. What's the matter with that pitch, says Fryman to the plate umpire.
I'm telling you, Jack, it's the club that hits last that's going to win this thing.
5-5 the score, bottom of the 7th. Maddox has some power. He can run. Gets back in and waits. The pitch is on the way. Swing and a line drive into left. That's a hit. The ball goes into the corner. It's going to be a double. Francona has no chance to throw him out at second. A double for Maddox.
This is exciting. Again, a pitcher gets behind the hitter, and knowing he doesn't want to walk the leadoff man, just gives him a pitch to hit. And Maddox just stroked it down the left field line, and Francona could not get over to cut the ball off, hit the wall, and held him to a double.
The batter is Rose, and the Phillies have a dilemma of sorts. They have Pete Rose up with the pitcher due next. Ramon Aviles comes on deck.
Well, what they're going to do is just get that runner over to third base, and we'll see what happens. Jeff Reardon is warming up in the bullpen for the Expos, so we'll just see. I know one thing: when you're in the 7th inning of a ball game and it's a tie game, you just get that runner 90 feet away from home plate with less than 2 out, and your chance is pretty good of scoring him.
I was about to say it might be difficult for the batters to see with Fryman throwing out of the sunlight into the shade, and just then Maddox bounced it down into the left field corner. That's the lead run for Philadelphia. The batter's Pete Rose, hitting right-handed. A pickoff play, but no throw back to second base. Rose is 1 for 3 today.
You bunt here, Jack?
I don't know what the heck I'd do. I think I'd leave it up to Rose. Here it comes. He was going to bunt and took a ball.
I think the safe way is just get them over there, and if they feel that the defense is going to take the bunt away, then Pete can handle the bat very well.
With my pitcher coming up next, I'd have Rose hitting myself.
Yeah, but your pitcher's not coming up next. They're going to pinch hit. They got Tug McGraw coming into this game.
I don't like the pinch hitter, though. A runner at second base and nobody out. I'd rather have Rose hitting than Aviles hitting.
You've got Aviles over there. It doesn't have to get a hit to knock in a run if he's at third base.
That's what makes the game so much fun. Maddox on at second base, nobody out. Seventh inning, score tied 5-5. Ball 1 the count to Rose. Here's the pitch. He's going to swing. He does, and he grounds it to the right side. The runner goes to third. The batter's out at first. Phillips bobbled the ball for a moment, but then threw him out. The lead runs on at third, 1 out, and Ramon Aviles comes up. Well, Rose got him over. You knew he'd do that.
He does the job. You know, you leave it to an experienced guy like Pete Rose. You know what we want done, Pete. We want that guy at third base, and whichever way you feel you could do it best, you go ahead and do it.
That's what I said. And then if he'd have gotten it through the hole or up the middle,
you're right.
So much the better. But that's the fun of this game of baseball, to kick it around and take your choice before it happens and suffer the consequences later.
And here's your squeeze situation right here, Jack. You've been looking for it for about 3 days. Here you are.
Well, that's one thing they might have had set before Aviles even came up to hit.
And you know that Jim Fanning has got to leave Fryman in the game. He doesn't want to switch to the right-hander because they're loaded over on the other side with left-handed pinch hitters.
And look who's on deck.
Well, I have a feeling that Reardon might be pitching to him, though.
Mike Schmidt waits on deck. The Montreal infield is in. The batter is Ramon Aviles, a right-handed batter, and ball 1 goes low. Aviles has been around the block. You haven't heard much about him, but he's been in the game for quite a while. A little fellow. Right-handed batter. He waits. A runner at third. Maddox 1 out. The pitch. That misses outside, and it's ball 2.
You don't want to walk Aviles.
Aviles only hitting .214. Aviles only drove home 3 runs during the year. Maddox at third. If he's going to squeeze, this would be a good place for it. Here it comes. Strike called. 2-1.
Looked like he was just taking that pitch. 2-0. You've got to be looking for something to whack at because you got the infield playing up, and on AstroTurf, that increases your batting average quite a bit.
Tie game, 5-5. Runner at third, 1 out. Next pitch, outside. Ball 3, 3-1. And Woody Fryman looks over and sees Mike Schmidt on deck, and he knows he's going to be out of the game if he, probably no matter what he does. So he might as well try to get him out. Maddox at third, 1 out. Here is the pitch, and a swing and a foul makes it 3-2.
Fryman threw that ball by Aviles. He fouled that off over the Philly dugout.
Big item here. If they can get Aviles out without driving in the run, they could put Schmidt on base and not worry about it. 3-2 the count, so Fryman has to throw a strike. Aviles has to be swinging. Here it is. Ball 4. Tried to get the breaking ball over. I'm surprised he did, Joe, on 3-2, aren't you?
Well, you've just got to hitch your belt and throw the ball and hope Aviles pops it up or strikes out. But right there, the last thing you want to do is walk that guy because of the guy coming up behind him and the one behind him also.
Here comes Jim Fanning out of the dugout. Well, Fryman knew he wasn't going to be facing Schmidt unless it was to walk Schmidt.
I look for them to make a double switch right here so Reardon can stay in the game. Francona made the last out, so you might see Wallach go out to the outfield.
The pitcher is due to bat in the number 3 spot for Montreal in the 8th inning. We're tied here, 5-5, bottom of the 7th. Phillies have men on at first and third with only 1 out and Mike Schmidt up. Jim Fanning goes to the mound after conferring with the umpire, and there is going to be a switch. And now they want the right fielder, White, to go to left. Wallach probably will come into the game. Francona is out of the game.
Unless he's going to put Reardon in right field.
Maybe Reardon would prefer to play right field rather than pitch. Rather than pitch to Mike Schmidt, who is just kneeling down there on deck watching all of this transpire. Tim Wallach goes to right field. Francona's out of the game. He was 0 for 4. And Wallach will bat in the number 9 spot. Tim Wallach enters the game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Jeff Reardon comes in out of the bullpen to follow Fryman. Fryman pitched an inning and a third. He's been charged with 1 run. That was a home run by Matthews. And he gave up 3 hits. He struck out none and he walked 1. And Reardon becomes the 5th pitcher of the afternoon for Montreal here in Philadelphia. And Reardon will bat in the spot vacated by Terry Francona. Some game, Joe.
Great game. I mean, if the fans don't like this, they don't like baseball. There's back and forth, Donnybrook type ball game. Now the best relievers coming in to pitch against the best hitter on the Philly ball club in a situation where, again, you don't want to walk them, but you're not going to give in to them either. There's still a base open, even though that base is second base. You don't want Mike Schmidt to beat you, and they were successful in not letting them beat them the other night, and they come out a victor up in Montreal. So we'll just see how it transpires.
Schmidt is the batter. He homered in the first with a man on, drew a walk in the third, and then struck out in the 5th. And Jeff Reardon, who started the season with the New York Mets, comes in to try to pull off some magic for the Canadians.
What a great year Reardon had up there. He's 3-0. He pitched 70 innings and only gave up 48 hits. And anytime you look at a pitcher's statistics, you always look to innings, to hits per innings pitched. And anytime you're underneath by 1 or 2 hits, it's excellent. But when you go up there and see that he's given up 22 less hits than innings pitched, that is a super job.
And he's allowed just 4 earned runs in his last 37 in the 3rd innings. And he's a fireballer.
He throws hard. His fastball is his bread and butter. He's worked on a curveball. He doesn't really have the confidence in the curveball that he hopes to have. He used to throw a slider. He still throws it at times, but still the fastball is the one that has gotten him where he is.
Even though, Joe Torre, Gary Maddox hit the ball hard to start this inning with a double, it's probably a bit difficult for the hitters at the plate because Reardon's throwing out of the sunlight through a patch of shade and then into the solid shade. And all the batter has to do is miss seeing it a little bit, and he won't hit it as he should.
Right, he's going to have to look location. Reardon's basically a high ball pitcher, and I know Mike Schmidt's up there looking high right now to try to figure out where that pitch is going to be. The thing Schmidt's got to realize right now is he's going to have to get the pitch he wants to hit, because if they're going to walk him, let him walk him. That guy behind him does a pretty good job also.
Montreal leads in this series 2-1. If they win today, they'll eliminate Philadelphia. Philadelphia once had a 4-0 lead. Montreal caught him. Then Philadelphia went back on top 5-4. And Montreal caught him in the top of the 7th inning. Now in the bottom of the 7th, runners are on at first and third with 1 out, and Mike Schmidt is up against Jeff Reardon. From the belt, the pitch. Strike call. Nail the outside corner.
And Schmidt's a fly ball hitter. He hits the ball in the air, and if Schmidt hits the ball in the air, pretty good chance it's going to be the outfield. But Jeff seemed to paint the outside corner with that fastball, so he's ready.
And you could see the difference in velocity. He threw harder there than any pitch we've seen all afternoon. Strike 1 as he gets ahead of Mike Schmidt. Now the right-handed batter gets back in. The outfield deep to the left. The pitch. Swing and a high pop-up for the second out. A foul ball, and Cromartie is under it. He has it. 2 out. First and third, 2 out.
What an out to get right there.
And now it'll be Gary Matthews, who is singled and homered in this game.
And Matthews against Reardon again. The other night, Reardon won. Let's see what happens now. Matthews seemed to have the ball thrown by him the other night by Reardon. And we'll just see how he tests him.
You're right, Joe. Matthews gets another chance against Reardon. He was up with the bases loaded in a tight game in Montreal the other night, and he got him on a foul ball. There's one remote possibility that we should mention, and that's the double steal with Gary Maddox on at third and Aviles at first, particularly if Reardon gets ahead of Matthews. First and third, 2 out.
Matthews still a 300 hitter. You want to give him a chance to knock in a run.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Threw it by him.
Reardon trying to keep this game tied. It is tied. 5-5 in the bottom of the 7th inning. A double and a walk in this frame for the Phils. And this may take the wind out of their sails if they fail to score in this inning. Reardon from the belt to the plate, and Matthews took it upstairs. A ball, 1-1.
Yeah, when you have your 4th and 5 hitters coming up with the winning run or the potential winning run out there at third base, and you leave them there, that's going to really do something to deflate the Phillies.
Reardon takes his time, rubs the baseball, comes back up on the pitching mound. Maddox at third, Aviles at first, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. Montreal 5, Phillies 5. Matthews swings and a fly ball into right field. Should be caught by Wallach. He has it. The inning is over. Reardon got out of it and kept it tied. And the Phillies missed a good opportunity. And who knows what the ramifications of that will be. A leadoff double by Maddox is wasted. No runs, 1 hit. A walk, 2 left. A half dozen stranded by Philadelphia. 7 innings have been played. The end of the 7th inning with the score. The Expos 5, Philadelphia 5.
Hello, Andrews Oil. May I help you?
Yes, please. I'm new in town, and I'd like a little more information about Andrews Oil. All I know is that you carry Sunoco oil products.
Yes, ma'am. We do distribute Sunoco. We have gasoline, diesel fuel, furnace fuel, and a wide variety of Sunoco oil and grease. The oil and grease and antifreeze can be purchased in small quantities or in 30 and 55-gallon drums.
Thank you for the information. Now, where is Andrews Oil located?
Oh, we're located at 530 Oak Street. Thank you for calling.
The time has come for you to invest in the new All Savers certificate at the Bank of Mount Carmel. You've been hearing about it, and now you can earn up to $2,000 tax-free interest on a joint federal tax return, up to $1,000 on a single return. The minimum is only $500 and has a 1-year maturity. Owners of Bank of Mount Carmel money market certificates may convert to an All Savers certificate with no penalty. To find out if the All Savers certificate is for you, come into the Bank of Mount Carmel today.
Into the game for Philadelphia is Tug McGraw. He'll take the game into the 8th inning, tied 5-5. Ron Reed pitched 1 inning. He gave 1 run, 1 hit, walked 1, struck out none, and the game belongs to Tug McGraw.
And that one that Ron Reed walked proved to be the run that scored that inning also.
McGraw has had a peculiar year. He never really has been full speed. He's 2-4. This is only his 35th game. 2-4, 10 saves. It's his contest.
Tug was not on the disabled list. They just didn't pitch him for a while. He was hitting fly balls to the outfield, I believe it was, after he had worked a couple of days in a row and popped something in his elbow. And you have elbow problems and you throw a screwball, you're hurting.
McGraw will take his final warm-up toss. Spire, then Phillips, and then Wallach will be up against him. With the score deadlocked at 5 apiece. Montreal leading 2-1 in the best-of-5 playoff series. Philadelphia had a 4-0 lead in this contest, and they also led 5-4. Spire double in the 5th and he scored. He singled in the 6th and he scored. He has had 6 out of 9 plus 4 walks. One of the hitting stars of the game, of the series for the Expos. Right-handed batter against McGraw, the screwball pitcher. And here comes the first from the left-hander, strike call.
You've got 3 guys in the running for the MVP of this series with Carter, Spire, and Reardon. All 3 of them have done great jobs in this series.
Next one to Spire. Strike, a blistering fastball, strike 2 call. Boy, did he pop that one.
Well, that's what happens. Again, the shadows are helping Tug right now. Screwball pitcher, curveball pitcher, and he throws the fastball. It's more a surprise than anything else.
2 quick ones on Chris Spire, who waits. Here it comes. Low inside, ball 1. Spire doesn't swing at many bad balls.
No, he's a contact hitter. He likes to use the whole field. He used to be where he tried to hit home runs when he was back with the Giants, but I think he realized he's more valuable this way.
Next pitch from McGraw. Strike call. Caught the inside corner. Looked like a screwball the way Spire reacted. He gave up on it, thought it was inside. It caught the corner. He's out.
I think it might have been a fastball, Jack. He was looking for something away, and when a left-hander throws inside to a right-hander, that's the surprise.
And there's 1 out as Mike Phillips comes up. Now, you're right, Joe. It's just a fastball, and he caught Spire thinking. The batter is Mike Phillips. Sometimes left-handed batters do better against McGraw than the right-handed hitter.
Oh, he takes the screwball away from him.
This is the first at-bat of the day and in the series for Mike Phillips. He swings, hits it into left field. Gary Matthews will have it. He does. 2 out. Now Tim Wallach will bat for the first time. He's a right-handed batter with some power.
Wallach's got an uppercut type swing, and you know McGraw likes to move the ball around, in and out, screwball, curveball, slider. Wallach is strong. He could hit a ball out of this ballpark.
Wallach at Fullerton in California was some kind of a prolific college player. Set all sorts of records. Here's the first pitch to him. Swing, and a late swing and a foul tip. Strike 1.
Well, that's it. I'm sure he hasn't seen a whole lot of Tug McGraw. And the thing about hitting against a pitcher like McGraw is the knowledge of what he does and situation he likes to do it. So a young hitter doesn't have the ability as a veteran might have.
Next one coming, and a foul. Strike 2. Spire struck out. Phillips flied out. 2 quick strikes on Tim Wallach. Score tied 5-5, top of the 8th inning. Expos about hit the Phillies 9-8. Expos made 1 error that cost them 2 runs. As they try to eliminate Philadelphia this afternoon. Here comes the pitch from McGraw. Up high, he wasted 1.
That was a breaking ball that broke up high. I couldn't tell if that was a curveball or a screwball. It just got away from Tug.
McGraw, a very effervescent sort of person. Brings it home with 2 out. Curveball, fly ball on the infield. Rose backs out. Now the second baseman trio says, I'll take it, and he does. Pete Rose was guiding him all the way.
He was letting them know. That's the one thing you want on a pop-up like that is to let the guy who's going to catch it know he's the only one in the area.
So McGraw has a perfect inning of relief. We go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Philadelphia trying to stay alive will try to snap the deadlock in the middle of the 8th inning. The score is Philadelphia 5, Montreal 5.
Every week, some of the best jobs available anywhere in the United States are in the National Business Employment Weekly. And now there's even more. There are articles that can help you get those really good jobs. Authoritative articles about writing better resumes, preparing for interviews, learning what employers are looking for, all in the National Business Employment Weekly, along with every job from every regional edition of the Wall Street Journal all across the country. Executive, managerial, and professional jobs paying $25,000 to $250,000. Get the National Business Employment Weekly at your newsstand today. Or, if you prefer, we'll rush you the next 6 copies by first-class mail. Just send a check for $18 to National Business Employment Weekly, 22 Cortlandt Street, New York, New York, 10007. 6 copies, $18. That's 22 Cortlandt Street, New York, New York. The National Business Employment Weekly. Nobody knows more about good jobs and how to get them.
Watson, after 2.5 centuries, we have at last a clue to the mystery.
Oh, you mean the great violin mystery, Holmes?
Precisely. Think of it, Watson. 250 years of violin making, and none have matched the quality of a Stradivari.
I'm afraid he took the secret to his grave, Holmes.
Yes, until now. Science, Watson. Science has come onto something. There.
I don't see it, Holmes. Where?
On Nova, Watson. This Sunday on your local PBS station. Watch for the great violin mystery.
A production of WHA-TV in cooperation with WGBH.
I'm Jack Buck. Joe Torre's alongside, and we go into the bottom of the 8th inning, tied 5-5 here in Philadelphia. The Expos and the Phils 5-5. Batting for the first time, Bob Boone. Right-handed hitting catcher. Has some power. Swings and fouls at strike 1. Phillies trying to manufacture a run or 2 or 3 off of an undefeated pitcher, Jeff Reardon. Reardon came on in the 7th with men on at first and third and 1 out. He got Schmidt and he got Matthews. Nobody on, nobody out, bottom of the 8th inning. Here's another one to Bob Boone. A little bit low for a ball. Very soon, the pitcher will no longer be throwing out of the sunlight into the shade. It'll be Boone, Boy, and trio. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Philadelphia. The Phillies, an endangered species these days in the baseball world. Next pitch to Bob Boone. Swing and a high pop fly behind short. The left fielder comes on. Jerry White is there and makes the catch. He finally made the catch. They got a kick out of Chris Spire. The ball went high into the air, and Spire knew it would be a tough catch for him. He'd have to turn and look into the sunlight at the last moment, so he said to Jerry White, lots of room, fella.
Right from the first time it was hit, he wound up in left field, and Jerry White wound up about 3 feet behind shortstop.
White might have pulled a muscle going after that one. He ran in so far, so fast. There's one out, and Larry Boa is the batter. He's 1 for 3 and 2 out of 13. 3 out of 13 in the series. Batting from the left side. He takes one low from Jeff Reardon, who has retired 3 in a row. Expos wouldn't have made it this year without Reardon, Joe.
Without a doubt. He gave them what they needed to go along with Fryman.
Now Boa takes one downstairs. That's ball 2. Outfield playing around to the left for Boa every once in a while, and he's ahead on the count, as he is now, 2-0. He'll try to get out in front and pull the ball.
He's going to try to get the extra base hit.
He's batting with 1 out. Reardon goes into the windup in the pitch. Strike called. He got one in there.
It's been a very traumatic year for Jeff Reardon. His father had a heart attack and then passed away, and he feels that he's dedicating this series to his dad.
He looks in, goes into his windup, his pitch to Boa. Low outside, ball 3. Plate umpire Billy Williams, has worked without incident.
So far, of course, there was enough incident yesterday to take care of the whole series.
The base is empty behind Reardon. He's fallen behind Boa, who's tough to pitch to. Boa took a strike, and he was taking all the way. It's 3-2. Boone popped out. Boa's the batter. Trio next. Score tied, 5-5. Bottom of the 8th. 2 out. Nobody on. Montreal in the 9th will have the big guys up. There's a swing and a high fly ball into right center. The shortstop goes out, and Spire wants it and has it for the second out. 2 men gone. And the batter is Manny Trio. Trio hit a ball hard into left field against Reardon the other night in Montreal that threatened to flirt with the wall. It was caught. Trio has had only 1 hit in 11 trips.
He's a threat again. He can get an extra base hit, Jack, but Jeff Reardon seems to be in complete command out there.
He is set down 4 in a row, and he's kept the game tied 5-5. There's a high pop fly foul. That'll be caught. Spire wants this one a foul ball. He has it, and the inning is over. So 3 little pop flies took care of the Philadelphia 8th inning. Now Montreal will have the big guys, the top of the order up. At the end of 8 innings, the score is Montreal 5, Philadelphia 5.
There's a man who gives big values on the hardware that you need. And when you need a little help, you know you found a friend in need. Service Car. Next to the man who owns the store, Service Car. It's the greatest name in hardware. Next to the man who owns the store, Service Car. It's the greatest name in hardware.
We're going to the 9th inning, tied here in Philadelphia 5-5. In case you haven't been with us, in the first inning, a little infield hit by Bake McBride and a 2-run homer by Mike Schmidt. In the 3rd inning, a base hit by Pete Rawls, a walk to Mike Schmidt. Matthews hit a double play ball to short, but the second baseman missed second. So they failed to retire the side, and then a change of pitchers. Scott Sanderson left, Bonson came in, and Moreland singled 2 runs home, in Philadelphia had a 4-0 lead. Gary Carter's home run made it 4-1 in the 4th. They added a run in the 5th and a double by Spire, a couple of walks, and a fly ball by Jerry White. Montreal had the bases loaded, nobody out, and got only 1 run out of it. That made it 4-2. Then they tied the game in the 6th inning. A base hit by Parrish. With 2 out, a base hit by Spire. An RBI pinch single by John Milner. An RBI pinch single by Wallace Johnson. And the game was tied 4-4. But then Gary Matthews led off the 6th inning with a home run, and Philadelphia regained the lead 5-4. Philadelphia in the 7th. A walk to Jerry White by Ron Reed and an RBI double by Carter. And we're tied. Tug McGraw pitched the 8th, set Montreal down in order. And he'll pitch to Warren Cromartie to start the 9th. He's the leadoff man, and White and Dawson will follow. 5-5 the score, 9th inning. The first one to Cromartie. Swing and a high pop fly behind second base. Boa goes out. He wants it and has it for the out. Paid attendance here, 38,818.
It's only 2,000 better than yesterday, Jack.
Yesterday on a Friday afternoon, 36,000. Here on a Saturday afternoon, another disappointing crowd as far as the Phillies are concerned. They drew 1,600,000 during the year. Well, Cromartie is 0 for 5. That's been a big part of this game because Cromartie struck out in the 6th with 2 men on. Jerry White has driven in a run with a fly ball. He's walked. He's 0 for 2, strike 1.
And if Tug can get through this inning, this is where the home team has the advantage. Now they can get a lead without worrying about protecting it.
And they'll have Davis and the top of the order up. Here comes. Now McGraw stumbles off the mound and doesn't throw it. With 1 out, White's the batter and Dawson next. That'll be a big at bat when Dawson comes up.
And he's been quiet also.
Here's another pitch. White, the switch hitter, takes it low. 1-1. 5-5 the score, top of the 9th. Montreal leading 2-1 in the series. The screwball drops low to Jerry White. 2-1. Very exciting game. Very exciting. And the finish is bound to be even more exciting. There's a high pop fly to the right side. Trio backs out and he wants it. Bites the sun and makes the catch. 2 out.
This could have something to do with it being a little tough to see because you've seen nothing but balls popped up here the last inning or so.
Well, we're well on our way to the big event. Nothing in the sports world makes for more excitement than the World Series. It all begins Tuesday, October 20th. Make a date with us for CBS Radio Sports live coverage of baseball's finest innings, the World Series. The best of 7 begins October 20th on most of these stations. Hear it here. 2 out and the batter, Andre Dawson. McGraw pitches to Dawson. Swing and a high fly ball to right center. That'll be caught by the right fielder, Davis. He has it. And Dawson is 1 out of 5, and the Phillies are in a spot to win it in the bottom of the 9th inning as McGraw set down 6 in a row. McGraw leads the cheers for himself as he goes back into the dugout.
He loves it. He pounds that glove against the leg, and he tries to get the adrenaline going, and that Philly dugout's really alive right now.
Jeff Reardon has to continue to hold him, and Montreal can only win this one in extra innings. In the middle of the 9th inning, the Expos 5, Philadelphia 5.
Hey, Charlie, I hear your business is really going great.
Oh, it sure is. In fact, I'm expanding, building on.
Oh, really? Well, listen, my wife has this cousin who does a little wiring on the side. Why don't I see if he can work you in?
Thanks anyway, but I'm going to have CB Electric in Mount Carmel do the work. They do all kinds of commercial, industrial, and residential wiring, even oil field work. Some things you just feel better about when you have a professional do them. Let CB Electric worry about your wiring jobs, so you don't have to. This is Fire Prevention Week, and the folks at Charles L. Miller Insurance Agency hope each of you will take every precaution at your disposal in preventing fires around your home. Remember, fire extinguishers and smoke detectors are 2 common-sense investments for your own safety. And be sure your homeowner's policy is updated at the Now Agency, Charles L. Miller Insurance, staffed by folks who care.
Well, the Phillies could win it here in the bottom of the 9th. We're going in tied 5-5, and that would set it up for the rubber game, the 5th game tomorrow. Town is alive to the situation. In 1982, when you're looking for a place to take your family for a fun day that's affordable, think baseball. When you're looking for a unique way to share some time with your family and friends at very reasonable prices, think baseball. When you're looking for a clean, wholesome family entertainment that won't break your budget, think baseball. And when you're looking for one of the best family entertainment buys around today, think baseball. Take your family out to the ballpark in 1982 and catch baseball fever. It's worth it. Preceding has been brought to you on behalf of Major League Baseball. Dick Davis bats. He was a pinch hitter, and then he stayed in the game to play right field. He popped out his first time, and he faces Jeff Reardon for the first time. Reardon has retired 5 in a row. The game belongs to Reardon and McGraw. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one by Dick Davis.
And do you know who's warming up for the Phillies? Dick Ruthven, starter of Game 2.
Davis had 2 home runs during the regular season, has power to the opposite field. Jeff Reardon, the right-hander, brings it home, and a foul out of play makes it strike 2 as Reardon tries to send it into extra innings. Philadelphia came into the game down 2-1 in the playoff series. Had a 4-0 lead, lost that. Had a 5-4 lead, lost that. Now they're trying to win it here in the bottom of the ninth. Davis will be followed by Gary Maddox and then Pete Rose. Dick Ruthven warms up in the bullpen for Philadelphia. Nobody warming up for Montreal. Davis is in the hole, and the pitch comes as he leads off. Inside, ball 1. Now Bill Lee starts to warm up for Montreal. Left-handed. Reardon brings it home. Davis swings and strikes out on a bad pitch high.
Well, Jeff has that ball jumping for him, and Davis went for a bad ball.
That's 6 in a row set down by the Montreal reliever. What a job he did in the 7th inning. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. He got Schmidt and he got Matthews. And in the 8th inning, he got Boone, Bowe, and Trio. And now he gets Dick Davis. And he'll deal with Gary Maddox, who is 1 for 1 in the game. He doubled leading off in the 7th, but never did cross the plate. Right-handed batter, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
You have Pete Rose on deck and then the pitcher's spot. So we'll just see what happens. I know he doesn't want to pinch hit from McGraw, but of course you want to get men on where you get a chance to win the game right now.
Maddox has hit 5 home runs this year. The pitch, swing and a miss, and Reardon blew it right by him. Strike 2.
Jeff is throwing nothing but fastballs. I think he's just trying to take advantage of the shadows and the sun, and now there's a strip of sunlight right in front of home plate. So it's coming out of shadow into sun and then back into shadow again.
2 quick strikes on Maddox, and the next pitch on the way. Swing and a foul off to the right. Back into the upper deck and then downstairs. 5-5 the score. If there is a 10th inning, Gary Carter will lead it off for the Expos. Philadelphia trying to win it here in the 9th. 1 out, bases empty. Maddox waits. Feet spread wide. Reardon goes to work. The 0-2 pitch. Misses outside, ball 1.
Phillies' backs are scraping up against the wall right now. This is it for them.
They trailed 2-1 in the best-of-5 series. The loss here today will conclude their campaign. Parrish guards the line at third. And Gary Maddox swings and a high fly ball into center field for Dawson. He circles under the ball, gets to it, and has it. 2 out. 7 in a row set down by Jeff Reardon, and Pete Rose comes up.
Well, here's Pete Rose. You have Dick Ruthven warming up, so if Petey gets on, you're going to see a pinch hitter from McGraw.
They have a left-handed bench. They have Vukovich and Unser and Gross on the Philadelphia bench. Perhaps that's why Bill Lee is warming up.
That's George Vukovich coming out.
Rose tries to get on base with 2 out. He's 1 for 4. strike called. Reardon blew one in on him. Strike one as Rose bats left-handed. 5-5 the score, 2 out in the bottom of the ninth.
Hey, for a loosely played game early on, it's really been nailed down now. It's back to a pitcher's battle.
Rose waits. They play him a bit to the opposite field. The pitch, a swing, and a high fly ball will send us into extra innings. Second baseman Phillips staggers and makes the catch for the out. Mike Phillips took care of Pete Rose, and Jeff Reardon retired 8 in a row. Now at the end of 9 innings, the score is the Montreal Expos 5, the Philadelphia Phillies 5.
A lot of people are drinking V8 juice these days. What about you? I drink it when I get up in the morning. How come you drink V8 in the morning? If I get up at 5:30 and you need something that's going to, hello, how are you? This is today, and you have to go to work, so you better wake up. It's a great taste, and it's good.
Well, it's very refreshing for breakfast.
The flavor of V8 juice is one of those kind of things that when you wake up in the morning, you know it's going to be a good day. I feel like I'm doing something healthy for myself.
That's why so many people are saying,
wow, I'm going to have a V8.
Out there right now to pitch the top half of the 10th inning. And what's going to be interesting right here is that Jeff Reardon is the third hitter. And Jim Fanning is going to be faced with a decision after Dawson after Carter and Parrish. We don't know what's going to happen, but I know ideally for Jim Fanning, he would love for either Gary Carter or Larry Parrish to hit home runs so he can have Reardon hit for himself.
The game goes into the 10th inning, the first extra inning game we've had in this playoff series. Tug McGraw has retired 6 in a row. First up will be Gary Carter. Parrish and Reardon will follow if anybody gets on Chris Spire. And then the pitcher is due to lead off in the bottom of this 10th inning. I would say with the bench that Philadelphia has, they have a little bit of an edge as we go into extra innings, Joe.
Well, even though Jim Fanning will be coming in with a left-hand pitcher, Bill Lee. Bill Lee isn't the type of left-hand pitcher that's going to give left-hand hitters as much trouble as a Woody Fryman or a Carlton or somebody of that nature. So Philadelphia, if they get through this part of the order and are able to get Jeff Reardon out of the ball game, I think they'll be at a distinct advantage.
Gary Carter leads it off. He's had a double and a home run, driven in 2 of the 5 Montreal runs, and McGraw brings it to him. Swing and a line drive, base hit in the left. The third hit of the day for Carter, and the batter will be Parrish.
Now what do you do?
Now if you bunt him over, you have the pitcher up.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to pinch hit for the pitcher anyway, unless Parrish hits an extra base hit and scores him. But I think they'll get the runner to second base and just hope they can score him from there, and Bill Lee can hold him.
Leadoff single by Carter is the 10th hit of the day for Montreal. And Carter has had 3 hits today, 7 in the series.
Reardon's coming out on deck, but I don't believe that.
Here's the first pitch to Parrish. He shows the bunt. He bunts in the air, and it's trapped by McGraw. He throws to first, out there, and down to second, out there.
What a great play. What a presence of mind for Tug McGraw to trap the ball. It's a play you work on all spring, but never really do during the season. He froze Gary Carter because he couldn't go anywhere, because if McGraw catches the ball, then he's doubled off first. So he threw to first base, gave Trio a bad throw, but Trio turned into a good play and then threw to second for the tag on Carter down at second base.
Parrish bunted the ball in the air. McGraw could have trapped it. Could have cut it. Instead, he trapped it. And then he threw to first base. Trio got that out and threw down to second. And the shortstop Boa tagged him out for a double play.
Tug McGraw made that play, Jack. That's something that pitchers work on every day in spring training, but really don't have the guts to use during the season. And he really showed me some guts right there by probably doing it at the most important time of the year.
Now Reardon's going to bat for himself.
Why not?
Was not an easy play for Manny Trio at first.
Sure wasn't. He gave Larry a perfect throw, too. That double play goes from 1 to 4 to 6.
And the batter is Jeff Reardon. Is he any kind of a hitter at all, Joe?
Nope.
Ball 1.
fact, Jeff didn't take a lot of batting practice. The simple reason is he does have chronic back problems. You don't want to get him in a situation where he pops it out on himself.
And he takes ball 2. The on-deck batter is Spire. We're in the 10th inning. Score tied 5-5. Leadoff single by Carter, but then a double play pulled off by Tug McGraw and the Phillies. Now McGraw has to throw a strike. Strike called. Ten hits for the Expos, 8 for Philadelphia. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
There he is, squatting down now. He might have hurt his back on that swing, but Jeff has a habit of just bending over even when he's down there warming up in the bullpen.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Here it comes. Struck him out. Well, it started out like a very auspicious inning for Montreal on the base hit by Carter. But then Parrish botched it up for Montreal as he bunted into the air. Rather than catch it, McGraw trapped it. Threw to first, got Parrish. Trio through to second, they got Carter. And then McGraw got his second strikeout when he fanned Reardon. No runs, a double play, and nobody left. Montreal can only win it now in the 11th inning. In the middle of the 10th inning, the score is Montreal Expos 5, Philadelphia Phillies 5. Phillies bat in the bottom of the 10th inning. Jeff Reardon relieved in the 7th. When does he start to lose the edge on his fastball, Joe Torre?
Oh, I think he's strong enough, but for a game that started out as a game that Montreal would like to win, using Jeff as long as they are forced to right now, it's turned into a game they have to win because this could eliminate him from tomorrow's game if there is a 5th game.
I was just thinking that if Montreal doesn't win and they overextend Reardon, they'd be in bad shape tomorrow.
No, Jeff might be all right to come in and get an out tomorrow, but I don't think much more than that because he has pitched a lot.
George Vukovic leads off. Ball 1 is inside. Vukovic bats for Tug McGraw. McGraw pitched 3 scoreless innings. No runs, 1 hit. Struck out 2, walked none. Vukovic, a left-handed batter with power. Takes it a little bit low, ball 2. Vukovic is batting for Tug McGraw.
And I'm not too sure if Jeff didn't hurt his back when he took one of those swings. He was flinching out there, and he's been raising that right arm, so let's see what happens.
He falls behind Vukovic, pitches, a swing, and a long drive into the right field corner. That ball might go! Home run! Home run by Vukovic wins the game for Philadelphia. And it's Rogers and Carlton tomorrow. Look out! George Vukovic got a line drive over the fence and right to start the bottom of the 10th. And Philadelphia, once behind 2-0, has tied it at 2 games apiece. A dramatic home run by George Vukovic.
Boy, I'll tell you, you can't get much more excited. If there aren't more than 45,000, 50,000 here tomorrow, I'll be shocked, Jack. They're all hugging down there. McGraw's getting hugged. Vukovic has done a great job for them pinch hitting. And Jeff Reardon got behind 2-0 and just tried to throw a strike, and he just bolted that ball out of the park.
Jeff Reardon bailed the Expos out in the 7th inning. In on at first and third and only 1 out. He got Schmidt and he got Matthews. He breezed through the 8th. He breezed through the 9th. And boom, a home run by George Vukovic has won the contest in the bottom of the 10th for Philadelphia by the score of 6-5. And Vukovic comes out to be interviewed. He's in view of the fans. And it's a happy moment for him. He's been a hot hitter. And Dallas Green pulled the right string, didn't he?
He really did. He saved him for when he needed it, and he didn't have to get to pinch hit from McGraw last inning. He had the best guy for when he needed him against a hard-throwing right-hander.
This game is history in 10 innings. The score, Philadelphia 6, Montreal 5. Will continue in just a moment.
Quality tools and supplies are indispensable whether you're a mechanic, farmer, carpenter, or handyman around the house. J&K Farm Supplies has the tools and supplies to make your job faster and easier. Black & Decker tools, Vermont American cutting tools, bits, saw blades, and nail sets, masonry drills, Fuller screwdrivers, pipe wrenches, wood chisels, and much more. Don't forget Gould water systems and ortho products are also available at J&K Farm Supplies in Browns. Declare your independence from high heating bills this winter and still have the convenience of oil, gas, or electric heat with a Yukon combination fuel furnace from Schwartz Heating and Air Conditioning. The Yukon uses your present duct system and lets you burn wood to save money, and you still have the convenience of having your gas, oil, or electric portion of the furnace take over whenever needed. Savings of $500 to $1,000 a year are common with the Yukon from Schwartz Heating and Air Conditioning in Mount Carmel.
You know, Joe Torre, it's the first game that Jeff Reardon has lost all year.
I'll tell you that Jeff Reardon threw hard. I just can't help but believe, Jack, that he just wasn't throwing as hard this inning as he had in the past couple of innings. I still believe he might have hurt himself swinging the bat.
You mentioned that the fact that he's had a chronic back problem, and I noticed him after he struck out. He went out to the mound to warm up, and he did some deep knee bends, did some calisthenics to try to get loose. And the first pitch was a pretty good pitch well, he fell behind Vukovic, but he seemed to have velocity on it, and then Vukovic hit one that at first looked like it was going to hook into the corner, and the ball straightened out and took off.
Boy, it just had some giddy up at the end. I didn't think it was going to be high enough, but it just stayed up there and went right out of the ballpark for the game winner.
Doug McGraw is rewarded with a victory, not only for his pitching, 3 scoreless innings, but also for his heads-up fielding play that led to a double play.
That was a gutty shot, as I say. I repeated it before, but you work on it all spring, but you get down to the championship game and you attempt it and it works for you, then you know what spring training's all about. It just took a lot of guts on Tug McGraw's part to try that play at that time and come out the way he did.
Here are the totals. In 10 innings, 6-9-0 for Philadelphia with 6 left. For Montreal, 5-10-1 with 7 left. McGraw the winner, Reardon the loser. Montreal won the first 2 games of this playoff. The Phillies have set it up for tomorrow. We're going to be here at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on most of the CBS radio stations for the deciding game. There will be no game on Monday, but there will be one tomorrow, Joe.
There sure will, and it'll be a heck of a matchup. Steve Rogers, Steve Carlton, and it looks like the managers are just going to give them the baseball and say, here, it's all yours. There are about 10 pitchers used in this one today.
The first 4 Philadelphia runs could have been avoided today.
Right.
A fly by McBride, which preceded the home run by Smith, and the double play that the Expos didn't pull off, which was followed by a 2-run hit by Keith Moreland.
Montreal just didn't clean up their act until about the middle of the game. It started in the middle of the game yesterday and carried over till today, and then it became a pitcher's duel. But Philadelphia took advantage, and the bench, their strength, is what won it for them.
Each team used 5 pitchers: Sanderson, Bonson, Sosa, Fryman, and Reardon for Montreal. Knowles, Brewster, Lyle, Reed, and McGraw for Philadelphia. And the Phillies won it in 10 innings, 6-5, and they'll pitch Carlton against the right-hander Steve Rogers tomorrow. CBS Radio Sports have been happy to bring you this playoff game. This broadcast has been sponsored by Pennzoil Motor Oil, by Budweiser, by Delco Electronics, by Service Star Hardware Stores, and by the Chrysler Corporation. Our engineer and producer, Tom Barton. Frank Miller is executive producer for CBS Radio Sports. We'll be on the air at 4 Eastern Time tomorrow with the finale. Once again, the Phils defeated Montreal 6-5 in 10 innings. Along with Joe Torre, this is Jack Buck from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. 38,000 saw the action. We say so long for CBS Radio Sports.